Hi, hello and welcome. Woo. Today is going to be a hot discussion. I'm hoping people are able to join so we can have this debate. Mary J, what's up? Hi KC Fresh, hi Dominion, hi Harry Bank. Today I want to have a very good debate on this particular topic. If you are well informed about this topic, you can join me live and let's discuss it. So recently, federal government is taking the state government to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has given the state government 7 days to file a defense suit on LG, which is the local government autonomy. So the process has been, the federal government have always, not always, but for the most of it, they always give the federal allocations monthly to the states. Apart from the time during Buhari's tenure where I think there was some issue with NNPC releasing some funds to the federal purse, so they were not paid. But I don't know, maybe the backlog have been cleared now, I don't know. So, but the thing is, when these monies are paid to these local governments, when this money is being released by federal government to the state, it is now not cascaded down to the local government. And some state governments are accused of creating some working committees, so to speak, and creating joint accounts to sort of run these local governments. So what federal government is now saying is that there should be an autonomy whereby these funds go directly to the local government, missing the middle part or the middleman, which is the state government. This case is still ongoing, but I would like to have your view because personally, and I want to be very careful in what I say because we know ourselves, Nigerians. This is not a tribal issue. All of us, we are corrupt. So, that said, do you think the local government should have autonomy? Or do you think the state government should be doing what they are doing, whereby everybody knows who the governor is, everybody can decide to hold the governor accountable, everybody calls the name of the governor if anything is going wrong in any part of the state? Because what then happens is, if we shift this responsibility to the local government, that means everybody will now have to go to their local governments to hold them accountable. That means some level of responsibility will be shifted from the governor. You could come and say, Governor, look at what is happening. They will say, go and speak to your local government. Again, how many of us knows our local government? Now, some people will say, if you want to play politics, go back to Nigeria, register with your ward, know your councillor. It didn't even stop in local government too. For what is worth, Master, for what is worth, good afternoon, my brother. For what is worth, it continues. So you have the president, one president, and a vice. But let's just start with the president, because even governors have a deputy. So you have a president, you have 36 governors plus FCT minister, 37. Then you have about, I think they said it's 77 or 71 local governments. And then you have about 700 and something wards, 727 or 70 something wards in the whole of Nigeria. Now, why you have how many local governments do we have? I think somebody told me this the other time I was live. I don't know why I forgot. Now, after the local government level, you still have the ward. But we have 36 states and capital. So we have 36 governors and capital, which is FCT. Master. So Abuja is FCT, so it has a minister. It doesn't have a governor, so to speak. So the local government will still, even if they win this case, Okay, 774 local governments. 774 local governments. Hopefully, I'll be remembering this now. So we have one president, 36 governors plus FCT minister, 774 local governments. Technically, in an ideal situation, in a place where trust is not a problem, you would imagine unnecessarily say, let the autonomy be given to the Etiosa. Etiosa is Lagos now. I don't know if local governments have a lot of power in Lagos, because everything we see in Lagos, we attribute it to Sanwo-Olu. So this is what we are trying to say. Once you start, because when you hear power, what power means is who has money, who is entrusted that signature that will sign and give orders and all of that. So the money goes into the governors. They will say they have power. They are the ones that will sign and give money and allocate it to ministries and commissioners and stuff like that. If you now give local government autonomy, that means instead of holding 37 or 36 people accountable, you will now have to hold 774 people accountable. Also, as we are debating the local government, it doesn't stop there. Politics, especially grassroots politics, goes all the way down to the ward level. And on the ward level, you have what you call councillors. These things used to be in Nigeria. I used to know the councillor of Onitsha then, Wale out where we used to be. We used to even go and sing for them when they will be on the car. We used to have Osile. And one man then, I've forgotten his name, he used to own pharmacy. He was a good man. He even treated me and one other kid when we want to fight for free. And that Ezobi, I think his name is Ezobi, he won. I don't know what our ward was called. Maybe on the South ward. I don't know. Or whatever ward. But at the end of the day, these things used to be there. Somehow, councillors missed in the equation. Somehow, local government chairmen missed in the equation. So a governor can come and comfortably run a government or a state government or run a state without people knowing who the local government chairmen were. In fact, in some instances, local government chairmen or local government seat sort of became a reward system for agberos or a reward system for so-called structures. So whether or not it's a good or bad thing, I don't know. And this is why I want us to debate on it. I want us to sort of intelligently debate on it, not just debating for debating's sake. And please, we know the rhetorics. Can Nigeria ever work? Nigeria can never work. Can we deviate from that today? Can we sort of speak to a possible model? Do you understand? Can we sort of imagine that even if it's not going to work, from the situation, what is the best advice you can give? Because practically, and we have to give something to Tinubu. Tinubu's body language is better than Buhari's body language. Is he trying? He is. Has he gotten some things wrong? Obviously. Is he doing trial and error? Yes. But at least there is a willingness to try. You see, failure is not just about failing. Failure is failing and not having the zeal or willingness to stand up. 774 times 3 cause you hold the chairman, secretary, and treasurer. Okay. No, I will not count those people because even governor has treasurer, has secretary, and all the rest. So also, Tinubu has about 40 something ministers. So we're not going to count your cabinet or your whatever that forms the government. What we are saying is that the key people, right, that are holding these sensitive key executive positions, right? Because a local government chairman has to choose who is his treasurer and has to choose who is his secretary. You don't vote for those offices. So let's talk about offices that you elect people to. So those are the ones that have the public mandate, so to speak. So now that we've established this, should we also make a case for councillors so that people that don't have road, you don't have gutter, you have flooding issue, your transformer blow, you can easily walk to your, because be it as it may, we need to understand that the reason why Nigeria is not working is because we left a good system that was left for us and want to adopt an American system that we didn't even understand. And we don't understand the American system very well for us to even adopt it. So now that it seems like Tinubu is now going towards the UK type of government, because in the UK we have what we call councils. Your councils are equivalent of local government. They respect and lean on the central, but they have some level of autonomy that they make decisions on their own. They could decide what to do. They can decide this to come and collect your bin. They can decide whether to pay you benefit or not. They almost run every aspect of government. So you can jejely waka enter your council, which is your local government, and make a case for yourself. You can go to their own particular website. Do you understand? You can vote for your mayor. And there are other this thing. I don't really understand the UK system very well, but there are other posts, because they have shadow cabinets and they have main cabinets and what have you. But the import of what I'm trying to say is that they have a central government that everybody don't over-rely on. Do you understand? They still have a central government, have autonomy of different countries, but the most important thing is that they have a very, very viable and working local government system, which is the councils. So, everybody should not have the mouth or the name of the president in their mouth. The reason why everybody have the name of the president in their mouth in Nigeria is because this local government is not working. But again, reminder, can you hold 774 local government chairmen accountable? That is the question. Because now, all of us have identified the kind of people we are. There is no hiding it anymore. Everybody now can come out and comfortably beat their chest and tell you that Nigerians are corrupt. It's no more saying it to, don't insult Nigeria. Everybody is now saying it with their full chest. So knowing that Nigerians are corrupt, is it better to yield some powers to the local government? Because what the federal is trying to say is that they don't trust the state government to give them state police. But now, you want to trust the local government chairman that nobody have visibility of. I don't know which side to go. I'm a little bit confused, to be honest, because at the end of the day, on paper, it should work. But knowing Nigerians and their complexities, can it work? Let's be honest. Or then, are we now going to have, instead of one governor blowing siren with 30 cars, we now have about, some states might have like 27 local governments, for example. Some states are bigger. They might have more, right? Depending on how big the states are. Or are we then going to have, for example, 27 local government chairmen blowing siren everywhere, slapping everybody with their police, going around with their aides, getting washed? It's because black people don't even understand power. They don't even understand that when you are in public office, you are a servant. You are there to serve. And that's why you are held with accountability. You are held with a lot of responsibility. And that's why when you make mistakes, they will tell you, make you resign. Or you go kukuma use your hand, resign. Say, okay, I'm not competent. There are better people. An incompetent person should not lead a competent person or a more competent person. A leader should be the best among the folks and not just a dumbbard or somebody that believes I can flex muscle. Don't say black people, say Nigerians. What I'm telling you is not limited to Nigerians. Look at Africa, look at Congo, look at Zimbabwe, look at other places. It's a mess. Because we have a problem with listening to each other, talking to each other, understanding what public service is. Some places in Africa, the president will willfully give his presidency or his seat to his son. It's not just in Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria is better. I don't think there's anybody in Nigeria that the son has ruled. In some African countries, they will finish, they will put their Peking there. What do you mean I don't know what I'm saying, X? Let's not deviate in there. But believe you me, Africa is not exonerated. If you think I'm lying, go and ask some Ghanaians what they think about Nana. Go and ask some other countries what they think about their president, African countries. But let's get back to topic. Let's focus on Nigeria, because like Mumumba always say, he says, when Nigeria gets it right, the whole Africa has gotten it right, because we are like the big brother. Although we've left our stake and other people are now showing us how to do it. But hey ho, we are the leader of ECOWAS. Nigeria is the chairman, Abi. But what I'm trying to talk about today, what exactly should we do? Should we relinquish this power to the local governments, or should we remain with the state governors? Because every 4 weeks, Baba, every 30 days, these guys get fresh allocation of billions. There's been improvement in terms of paying of teachers and paying of civil servants. During Buhari's tenure, it was even worse. They were debating the payment system. I've forgotten what they call it. It's in NICCPP, whatever. They were even debating which system to pay with. But at least now, what they are now debating is how much. Some states like Edo are paying 40. Some states like Lagos are paying well or better. Some places, which other state is even paying well again? You know, some governors are paying. But now what we are saying is, even though you are paying, is it enough? Federal government have increased to 60. Labour Party have come down to about 490 something, but still maintaining that it's not the living wage. The Labour Congress is saying, if you are saying 60,000, how does a family of 4, a civil servant, work with 60,000? How much is there? Give us a breakdown of how much is allocated to food, transport, rent, school fees, and other stuff. So what I am saying is, what would you prefer as a solution? Because with the move of the federal government, they might have their way. They might force this autonomy. Do you know my own stand? Let us be clear on responsibilities. First off, let us be clear. Educate the whole Nigerians. Educate the whole country. Educate even the political class, the parties. What is the job of a president? What is the limit? Because sometimes there is an overlap. If you say security, federal government have a role to play in security. If you say education, state governments have a role to play in education. So almost everything, there is an overlap. Now, if you move that responsibility down to local government, then what the state government can say, and everything is local, as you are aware. Because everywhere will be carved into a local government. So as may say happen for Abia State now, they go check what local government is that. It will now be primarily the responsibility of the chairman of that particular local government. You don't see the wahala now. Because they say to whom much is given, much is expected. So at the end of the day, do you think we should be looking at having autonomy of local governments, and how would that translate into the improvement or development of Nigeria? If you have an idea, you can send an invite. Let's have this discussion. Because personally, if a governor is good, with or without the local government, people can still see their efforts. The demands of Nigerians are not too ambiguous. It's very clear. Almost 5 things. Just give people 5 things and leave them alone. Give them power, good road, water, free education. If somebody have power and somebody can walk or drive on good road to get to from point A to point B on time, and somebody have water, yeah, and that person can also send their children to school, free education, at least to secondary school level. We used to have public schools. These things are things that I am not telling you needs to be invented. These are things that used to be obtainable in the Nigerian system. These are things that some of these people that are in power today enjoyed themselves. Just like they were saying that they used to sing that new national anthem. Or old new, I don't even know what to call it. Some of them did not just enjoy that anthem, some of them also enjoyed the water. There was a time water used to run. As a kid, I remember water used to run in Onitsha. Some people have also said there is water running on other parts of the country. Good road. Road have been the biggest problem because the issue with road is that everywhere in the world road spoils. But it's the maintenance culture. And I've suggested, find a company. Every government in Nigeria should have a company and give them the contract every year, maybe 6 months, to say, maintain all our roads. Give them an area. In this area, you have the contract to go to existing roads, fix all the potholes. Nigeria have 2 seasons, dry season and wet season. And the rain in Nigeria is usually heavy. And because it's usually heavy, it creates potholes. Especially with all these falling vehicles, people abuse the road as well. Most of our military people and police people, when they create checkpoints, they will go and put fire or set up some, or throw some heavy things on this thing. Or, so many things that, or even accidents can also contribute to road damage. When people fail brake and they are trying to stop the car because they didn't fix their car to be motorable, the next thing they will use that middle, what do you call that middle section of the demarcation of the road? They will use it to sort of stop the car, damaging the road. So let there be a company that will be maintaining all these roads. Ms. Odera, can you please make this live available? All my lives are available. All my lives are saved and also uploaded on YouTube. I don't have a lot of views on YouTube. If you know anybody that knows how to do this search engine or optimization so that my videos can get mileage, please recommend them to me. X, come and learn from the professor. Thank you, master, for calling me professor. I feel good today. Please, not the professor that was stealing money in the bank. I don't do hist. But I am a professor of political affairs. Anyway, so I would like to know what people think, because generally speaking, it might just be one policy that will fix Nigeria, or at least start the chain of events that will fix the country. It might just be this particular thing, or now I'm hearing that they are trying to pass a bill to go back to regional government. If they do that, it could be just that one thing that can start the chain of, domino effect of things that will fix that country. Or it could just be this local government. Nobody knows. Because what they are thinking is, they are deliberating on different solutions. What exactly can work? All of them know. Everybody in Nigeria knows that Nigeria is not working, including the governors and the president and whoever. They know. And one of the problems is that the people blame the government blame the people. The same way the people does not trust the government does not trust the people. So we are here saying these people are stealing money. They are also saying that even those of you that will recruit in important positions, hi Peter, that you guys don't want to work but to steal. And that act of stealing, which we also call corruption, is emanating from a place of poverty. You see, when Bob Marley said, some people are so poor, all they have is money, it's not talking about poverty of cash. What he's speaking about is poverty of the mind. And that's why some people will see money and all they want to do is to accumulate. Because they don't know how to create wealth. They are not contented with who they are. They don't even understand their responsibility. There are people that will see money and it doesn't move them. Those people are rich mentally. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, can we find a way to discover those honest Nigerians? Because if you really want to say, oh, let's go by religious people, Nigerians have tried that. They went to church and recruited those that are recommended as holy. Baba, you will know that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. There is something that Jeff said yesterday on Emma Blaze's life that resonated with me. He was attacking government until he came in close contact with the governor, only for him to also see money and start behaving the same way. When they were doing, what they call that protest to, when Goodluck Jonathan was there, that he removed subsidy, Occupy Nigeria. When they were doing Occupy Nigeria, AY the comedian did a very lengthy post that still resonated with me, that still stuck in my head. He said, does it mean that everybody that becomes the president of Nigeria somehow becomes corrupt? Or is there something in that seat that corrupts them? And this is my answer. Sometimes some people will say there is external influence, maybe some Western powers, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. If Burkina Faso can kick France away, and nothing happened. If Niger and all these people can be kicking even America away out of their country with their, what did they call it, foreign bases moving, I don't really think that power we think the West have on us is that much. I think technically what is happening is that all of a sudden, what happened to Jeff happens to most of them. Say for example, myself now, me that is a nobody, Shesha I don't have. Tomorrow I get a call from Abuja. Congratulations, Mr. Odera. The president will want to welcome you to his cabinet as one of the ministers. Do you accept or decline? My head go ring, bagam, billions. I say, I accept. You will be provided with a chartered flight A0120 from Heathrow Airport to Abuja on so and so date. A hotel has already been made, a provision of a hotel and a car to ferry you to the government house. Aso Villa is already prepared. All you need to do, sir, is to be available at the first class lounge of Heathrow Airport. Call hangs up. I see an email. I go there and I go and meet Tinubu. Baba, you see all these things where they talk against the man. Everything will just do phew. The next thing, they start paying you. The first money hits your account. Wham! These things I'm telling you are possibilities of a lot of Nigerians. The man they call Adenuga today was a taxi driver that just met, is it IBB or Abacha or somebody like that? His life changed from the same abroad. Most of our governors were living abroad. That's why most of them, when they finish their tenure, they go back. The likes of Obiano, most of them, once they finish, unless they maintain or they get another, because when they finish governor, they go Senate. Unless they get something else in the same distance, which they will fight for. But if they're not successful, they will fly again. They go outside the country. So most of them, when they come back to Nigeria, like Reno worked for Goodluck. It's in his quest to get another appointment that makes him to be supporting from Atiku jump to Tinubu. Now it's as if he's retracting his step again. Look at this man, Doyin Okupe, that worked for Labour. He's on TV now, supporting Tinubu. The same man that left PDP. See, this is why when people tell me, oh, I'm a card-carrying member of APC, Baba, you don't change nothing. You might as well call yourself a card-carrying member of PDP. Peter Bojele was live a few hours ago. He said he doesn't associate himself with any party. So am I. I don't associate myself with any party. Do you know why? They are the same people. The same. See, Nigeria is not an ideology. There is no difference in ideology. It's not like the left wing and the right wing, the conservative and the labor, that you can clearly don't need to know the names, but you know the party. You can vote the party knowing the ideology you suit or align with. In Nigeria, PDP and APC is equal to PDAPC. They are talking of a merger between the Kwankwaso, who came out from PDP, Labour Party, which used to be a standalone, but of course, Peter Obi came from PDP. All these people, you can mix all of them together and call them one. Also, there is another chain of thought or school of thought headed by Obasanjo that Nigeria should be a one-party system so that they will not be wasting a lot of money. Personally, in fact, a lot of people are now agreeing to the point that democracy is very expensive. You see, campaign, from the primaries to when they, not even when they announce you as the winner of the election. Because again, you have litigations in court until the Supreme Court declares. You see, that process is way too long, expensive, and inefficient, and at the end of the day, it doesn't produce the best. And that's why a lot of people now are now looking back and sitting back and saying, okay, hold on. We need to reevaluate this democracy. Is it really working for us? It's way too expensive. But then if we have a one-party policy or one-party, if we are a one-party country, then a lot of things will be seamless. The elite will just vote, and whoever they bring out will be the leader, or at least just go and fulfill righteousness and claim that they've won an election, like you can see in other, different places. But at the same time, that school of thought, on one hand, yeah, let's discuss what we still have on ground. Is there a way, maybe if we did digital voting? Yes, I know there is porosity with, of course, hacking and all of that in the IT world that can also negate that. But at the same time, if we used fingerprint voting and we find a way to digitalize, or what do you call it? I mean, our banking system to a great extent is somehow safe to a level, right? If we went for digital voting as a means of having a cheaper way of election, so that we can cut out all these Zubi, did you send request by mistake? To cut out, say for example, people going to use cash, because what they use is that they use the election to clean up their ill-gotten money, because it's a cash system. So they stock up the money they get from all these ill business and illegal businesses, and then what they do is that they go on election day, hand it out to people, but then of course they know how much they have given out to the people. They steal it back from the government's coffers, and then they've cleaned the money. So in a way, democracy is just used by the political class to deceive the people. And that's what I'm saying. If it's not working for us, can we find something that works for us? Two-party system will be better with a clause for independent candidates to contest, just like in America. Oh, you have that in America? That's good. Independent candidates should contest so that somebody like Peter Obi can decide, okay, I'm nearer here or there. Let me just stand alone and we can vote for people. First of all, APC will come and sell their ticket for like 50 million. Shop about 10 people or even 20 that want to go for the same office. You took Buhari's influence to say, no. If you're a minister, then you have to resign. Some people resign, some people get the job. That's one of the reasons Emefiele is in the soup he is today. Because how can you be a central governor and you are partisan? Anyway. So that said, while we are deliberating and trying to negotiate, how did you speak that English? Circumvent what we are going to do for ourselves going forward. With what we have on ground right now, do you think the local governments should have autonomy? And what should be their responsibility? What is it that the state governments and the federal government are failing in that local governments can come in? Because for an average politician, if I want to go into politics now and I want to create a manifesto, I know you already know what I will be writing in my manifesto. Number one, power. Number two, good road. Number three, education. Number four. At the end of the day, they provide none of this, so they can use it again in the next campaign. And that's why for the longest, about over 60-something years of practicing the same democracy, our, what do you call it, manifesto have not changed because they've not solved anything. So they utilize the same campaign promises every year because none of them have been able to achieve any of their campaign promises, and that's why they are still using it and reusing it. Because had it been we are meeting our campaign promises, then our campaign promises supposed to be changing. What you promised last 4 years should not somehow be part of what you are promising in the next 8 years or the following 4 years. But because nothing is changing, you have it that people are hearing the same promise year after year or for every 4 years, and nothing is getting done. Nigeria is not that complex for every road in Nigeria to be tarred. It's not that massive over 60-something years for everywhere to have power. It's not. It's purely the inefficiencies. And Jeff said, Rotimi asked him, who is your brother? And he said, oh, people from the south and people from the southeast. And he said, no, your brother is he who have your interests at heart. From that answer, I know the mind frame or the mindset of Honorable Rotimi Amaechi. And that's why today is a lawyer shouting, my Lord, my Lord. The reason is you cannot run politics and expect people to be loyal to you. You are bound to be betrayed at. You are bound to be stabbed at. In fact, if you want to see where the highest stabbing and disloyalty is in the world, try politics. Especially Nigerian politics. That's the worst betrayal. And guess what they did to Rotimi? They made Rotimi to fight Wike with everything in him. He was thinking that the North had his interest at heart. Only for last minute, they left him. It was too shameful. All the people that are supposed to be willing their votes to him left him and willed it to Tinubu. Because some people, the foundation of their ideology might not be tribe, might not be religion, but you see Kudi, you see Owo, you see Ego. Some people cannot look it and look the other way. And that's Nigeria for you. Electronic voting will be better because even if it is hacked and rigged, it leaves a lot of digital footprints for easy forensic analysis investigation than paperwork. Baba, what I saw in the last American election, nah. The way Americans said that Trump lost, nah. Trump fought and fought and fought. Nah. I understand that people don't like Trump. Oh, I get it. So it looks like he sort of resonated with public opinion that they wanted the man out. But still, Americans showed their electoral process in a very bad light in that election. Americans showed how dubious they are in that election. So personally speaking, I still think it is a cheaper option to have electronic voting. Yes, you could have forensic analysis, but always, in almost everything, I always see more sense in the way the British do things. In almost everything, apart from the capitalism that, even in their capitalism, they are still socialism. They are still giving out money, which is one of the reasons the EU don't like them. And that's why they left the EU, the benefit system. So at the end of the day, I think the British are one of the most clever people in the world. Look at their system. Let me show you the British system. If they want to vote, they will tell you to go and register. They create a website, which is digital. You go and register. They will assign you Sean, they will assign you a place to go and vote. In that place that you are going to vote, they will give you a card. You're supposed to carry that vote. Now, this is the first level of your security step. They will also give your name to the officials that will be in that place to cross-reference that your name in that their own paper. Before they now give you another paper that you will now take and go to a booth to go and do the voting, and then you come and put it. So it's a mixture of digital and paper-based voting. Baba, there is no way you can do the nonsense they do in Nigeria, which is print, or stamp, and say you are voting, or fingerprint. No. Because first of all, they are verifying who you are. Second of all, a ward will have all the names of those. And guess what? As you are coming, imagine they turn back a whole Boris Johnson, former UK Prime Minister from a Boris Johnson, former Prime Minister, just the immediate former or the second former. They turned him back when he came to vote simply because he did not carry his ID. It's like a whole Buhari. Listen to this, and this is the fundamental reason between, this is the fundamental difference between Nigerians and Oyibo. Buhari announced to the whole Nigeria and to the whole world, as INEC was doing their useless voter education, that we didn't know they have another plan. They were telling us that you cannot show people who you voted for. You cannot take picture of who you voted for to avoid what's the call, what's the English again, they call it, where people get paid for voting. Or let's just call it voting malpractice. So they are trying to stop people getting rewarded who they voted for. And normally they want to see the evidence. Guess what? Buhari comes, a whole president comes, voted, lifted it up, and showed the whole world. He didn't stop with Buhari. Kwankwaso went to his own booth with his entourage, because again, we have followers like flies in Nigeria, like bees in a bean hive. So he came, as he was voting, everybody was seeing, everybody was saying, hey, voted. To the point that they were even meddling with the whole voting ballot, everything, the boxing. Yeah? He got to Peter Obi's own, because they were showing all these key leaders. He got to Peter Obi's own. Peter Obi went there and said, nobody was even there till like 2 in Ago. Odera, do you know the British practice first pass the ballot system? You are really new in the country, or you are misinformed. What do you mean? Leave am Sean. Odera, you dey carry weight because of Odera don't dey carry weight because of I beg, leave me, your ex na military guy. I beg, I don't get straight. So Sean, I don't understand what you talk. I beg, just write it in simple English. Let me understand what you're saying, or you can send request. What I am saying is, the way me voted, I don't know about what used to be, but currently in 2024, and there's another election in July, a lot of people are having elections. South Africa is having an election. I think Russia have had their own election this year as well. This year is like year of elections almost everywhere. So there's going to be a lot of election. We have our own election in July. Now, I'm saying this to say, if we have the paper system, simply other than directly say you don't know English, Master, you and Sean are the same, so I won't be surprised if he agrees to what you said. What I said is, please explain it to me in simple English. I didn't understand what he said. Write it in simple English. Say Narati, you write. I don't understand them now. He said I'm misinformed or I'm new in the country. So he probably will be an OG in the country and probably knows other ways. But I'm saying the process I've experienced or I used in voting, or I've been using in voting. So But in America, you are allowed to digitally vote or something like that. You are allowed to digitally vote. You are allowed to go in person. So it's like a hybrid system. So in Nigeria, I think we should have a better system of voting and a cheaper system of voting. Do you understand? You see, if we use electronic voting, for example, yes, there is possibility for it to be hacked. But depending on who you give access to the back door, right? There is also trails for everything. You can even put it on the cloud and put it on cloud systems like Amazon or AWS is Amazon, or Azure, which is Microsoft, and just be certain that nobody, these two companies that I called, work with governments of the world. So they can give you a part of their government services that nobody can hack. With cloud, I can almost assure you that as you are, it's guaranteed 99%. So everybody can just be doing voting, and INEC can host it there and make sure that nobody, in fact, even Amazon don't have access to their government services. They don't have access to it, so it's not something that anybody can tamper with. And then it can save this whole issue of people getting rewarded for who they vote. So when I was explaining about Buhari and most of our, yes, so just like Faraseni was mentioning blockchain, I'm lost. Do you make it cheaper and sign contact with Elon Musk? Guys, I know they understand what you guys are typing. You guys can send me invites or requests. Let me know what you are saying. I'm lost in this, your typing. But what I'm trying to say is the difference between what Buhari did that most of the leaders did and got away with is essentially making law and breaking their own law. Now, Boris Johnson, on the other hand, came to his own polling unit, was not allowed to vote because an ordinary polling staff could refuse a former prime minister voting in the UK. And I'm telling you, without no shadow of doubt, without no shadow of exaggeration, when you come to UK's polling unit, police know the day there. And I tell you, if you they go walk, they come back, polling units they go on. Anytime where you like, you go come, go do your own. The last one where they do stuff, I don't even know so the election they do that day. I don't even do election. I didn't even go to the polling unit because it didn't even occur to me that, you know, Nigeria own everywhere go quiet. People go they play football for streets. Nonsense go they go on. They go they wait for ballot. You go there for news. Here, everybody just they do their thing. Maybe this big one, this prime minister election, maybe will be more televised and announced or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that for a prime minister to be turned back on an election, Nigerians cannot do it. And nothing happened to those staff. In Nigeria, they were killing people. NYSC people, they were shooting them. We are seeing videos of them dead on election day because Wike was giving command. Tinubu was shouting, grab it, snatch it. You take power. Power is not given, but take it. So when you have that sort of mentality as a people, what you will produce is almost an illegitimate government or a government that is forcing their way on the people. Do you understand? Okay, it's like I have a couple of requests. Pastor P. The card reader should have been equivalent to UK website registration you talked about if we use card reader. Yes, welcome, Peter. Yes, the card reader system should be equivalent. And some people praise that IRF system and called it a hitch. What happened with the presidential, but we all know it's not a hitch. For my knowledge in IT is always giggle, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't tamper with the system, it works. So somebody must have tampered with it. In fact, there are a lot of forensic we are saying that. In fact, Labour Party brought one of the forensic. They said he doesn't have a Keneko to talk on election matters. So at the end of the day, what we are trying to say is that if really our judiciary is free and independent, then we know we are serious. But you cannot have an illegitimate government wanting to bring about a change. But let's just say that let's be working with him or with his government. We know he's been a failure, F9 parallel, because there is nothing you can say out of all his manifesto that he's managed to bring about in the last 1 year. And don't forget, 1 whole year is gone. We are now into the second year. He has 2 more years or 3 more years to prove himself. So all those promises he's giving you has not achieved any. Things have gotten worse. So at the end of the day, do you think he's still going to deliver before the last 3 years finishes? Welcome, Peter. Peter, on the topic, federal government versus state. I don't know if you are aware about the local government autonomy that are being discussed. Do you think the local government should be given autonomy? It's still they paying you after 1 year. You see the problem with master. You see the problem. You cannot be saying he's paying me as if it's a personal affair. If we want to really nation build, let's nation build. If we just want to be making jest of ourselves, let's be making jest of ourselves. We're talking about fixing the country. You're talking about paying me. It's paying me that a lot of people are disturbing me on a daily about helping them and I can't help them. And I know these are things government is supposed to pay them. Apart from that paying me, I am good on my own. I don't need Nigerian government because I'm a British citizen living in the UK. But anyway, back to my point. Peter, I don't know if you're able to speak. The local government autonomy, what do you think? Because we have 774 local governments in Nigeria. If we give them autonomy, that means we don't hold the state government. Not that we don't hold them accountable, but some powers will be relinquished to them. So what do you support? Do you support as is or do you support to be? Go ahead. Peter, we can't hear you.
I muted because it will be echoing. The phone I'm using, I think the phone has the problem. So anytime maybe it's on my live or I join the live.
You okay now? You are good now.
So the thing is, it's a very simple thing. First of all, I wanted to go live when I saw you were live, so I just didn't bother to. I wanted to talk about the irony of Nigerian politics and Nigerians. There are Nigerians who are all over the world who do not directly receive the heat that is coming from bad governance. There are Nigerians who, whether it's hot or cold, it's not their business because they are not in the system. And sometimes you hear them talk about the country like the mouth. They talk about the country like, those who are bothered are just bothered for nothing, or they are bothered because they hate whoever is in power. This is not about love or hate. The conversation of local government autonomy, to me, I don't really see anything meaningful there. The reason I don't see anything meaningful is that Nigeria is anywhere below face, left or right. Nigeria is neither left nor right. We are neither taking the right side, nor we are taking the left side. You don't know where Nigeria really is facing. Personally, I don't think that local government autonomy or no autonomy has a direct role to play in the discharge of their duties. Government at all levels in Nigeria have failed and they are maintaining the failure. They just come up with one thing that will spark off discourse. Oh, people say, If they give them autonomy, we will not hold them responsible. My brother, let me tell you, you cannot hold anybody accountable in Nigeria. Whether federal government, whether state government or local government, there is nobody you can really hold accountable in Nigeria. This one and 1,000 they argue for, so 1,000 they call they put 5,000, 1,000. See noise. That's to show you the situation of the country. Whether state government, local government, federal government, bro, all of them know they try. So a lot of times people just want to blame something on
Sorry, Peter. The way you gave me that situation report is so funny. 1,000, 5,000.
That how they raise for from between 1,000 and 5,000. That here they make this put. So the truth is, people always look for something. Those in government, they look for something to give us to discuss. But they are not. If they are talking about judicial autonomy, maybe I will be listening, not local government autonomy or no autonomy. The money that is available to local government that the state government is giving them, have they done anything with it? The money available to the state government that is coming from federal allocation, have they done anything meaningful with it? Have the federal government done anything meaningful with the money that they are taking from the states and local government? This should be the conversation, not whether local government is autonomous or it's not autonomous. We should be talking about resource control. That's a more meaningful conversation, not local government autonomy. Because if they give autonomy to the 18 local governments of Edo State, I tell you, it is still going to be the same thing. The difference is that more local government chairmen will make more money for themselves to go and build more houses and send relatives abroad. That's how I feel about it. It's the same as federal police, state police. Oh, should police be controlled by state government or federal government? It's the same thing. The federal that is controlling it, they said if they give it to state to control, state governors will use it to oppress people. Is the federal government not using their police to oppress state? Are they not using it also? Do you see any state in Nigeria where the governor has power to talk to the commissioner of police to tell him what to do? There is no state in Nigeria where the state governor has power. If the state governor tells the commissioner of police that this is what should be done, this is what I think should be done, then somebody from Abuja now says another to the commissioner will obey the one coming from Abuja. So are they not expressing what their fears are if the state is to control police? Which is the same thing that the state governments will say, oh, if they give local government autonomy, these people may misuse the money. What I'm saying is whether they have autonomy, they don't have autonomy, all of them are the same. That's my point. That's why I don't stand for not giving them autonomy. Neither do I stand for giving them autonomy. I'm not there anywhere because I cannot see good people there. I can't see principled people. So in the absence of principled men, it is useless what we are practicing. Whether what we are practicing is they give them autonomy or not. If we are talking about the autonomy of the judiciary, the autonomy of the legislature, I will not say this country won't really move forward. But I don't even expect them to talk about it. Because first of all, if judiciary is autonomous, then they can judge election cases and stand their ground. When the executive does not appoint the chief justice of the federation, if the chief justice of the federation gets there by promotion and not by the executive putting them there, we will make headway. If the executive does not control the Senate and the House of Reps, we will make headway. As it stands now, only on book does the executive not control them. but in reality, the executive, in fact, legislature is a branch of executive. In real life in this country, legislature is a branch of the executive. Nigeria system is an embarrassment to the study of government as an academic field of study. It's an embarrassment to government as an academic field of study, because what we study in books that's supposed to be is the direct opposite we see in the country. So I just think the local government autonomy is another jamboree. They are just talking. The next thing they will talk about now is they will mention restructuring. Just wait for June 12 and listen to what they will tell us. They will talk. They have done a national anthem where that does not have any value to promoting good governance or bad governance. Somebody was saying the words. Don't think the words in the one that we are using now. Don't think it has something. I said, what word was bad in the last one? They arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's
Okay,
call, obey.
Peter,
What
Peter,
was
before we build on that point, I want to buttress what you said with the whole policing system, and I said that there is an overlap. There's an overlap between the federal role and the state role.
See, let me change the phone I'm using.
Okay.
I think this one may be giving echo back to the people listening.
Okay. So Peter is right, but I also want to discuss the whole regional government thing separately so that we don't model it together. And why I said Peter is right in his analysis of what is the importance of, like in the case of security, for example, if you look at what is happening in Kano, the emir of Kano was returned to Sanusi, right? Now, and before that, the former governor gave it to Kadero. But what is now happening is that the federal government is like they are insisting that it will still remain with Kadero. So instead of having 3 emirs, the governor brought it back to 1 and made Sanusi back to be the emir. Guess what is happening now? The federal government sent federal troops to come and impose Kadero on that throne, whereas the state government wants Sanusi to maintain the emir and is protected by local hunters. So what we now have in Nigeria is whereby a state wants a particular emir, federal wants to maintain the other emir, and now because the federal have the power of the police and the military and the air force and navy and everything, they are now supporting the federal government's imposition to maintain Kadero. Because Kadelo is the in-law of Rebadu, who is the Minister of Defense. That's exactly one of the cases to buttress what Peter is saying, that the federal will use their might to sometimes infringe on what is happening in the state. High smoke. Also, if you look at Rivers State, it got to a point, Tinubu called the meeting and said, Fubara, you have to maintain those lawmakers. Whereas the Constitution says, according to Femi Falana SAN, that once you defect without having an internal party crisis, you lose your seat.
Yeah.
So in that particular aspect, you will see the federal government trying to meddle. So what Peter is trying to say is that at this particular, seeing all these particular reasons, is it worthy or worth saying that federal government is saying that they cannot trust states enough to give them the state police? So why is the same federal government that does not trust state police or on state governors trying to create autonomy for the federal government or for the local government? Now, on the issue of regional government, mute Peter, please, because of the noise. On the issue of regional government, I think it's one of the reasons that will bring about a lasting, because once you devolve power, people will face whoever is their main representative. So the whether you want to call them Biafra or the Igbo nation, will face their leader. Arewa will face their leader. Oduduwa will face their leader. South will face their leader. That is what regional will give you. But if we now say, instead of regional, let's trickle down to local government, you will now have 774 local government chairmen to be deal with. And for me, knowing the caliber of Nigerians, I think people will abuse that power. That is what Peter is saying. So, Peter, go ahead.
So that's exactly what I just said. The truth is, you see, it's very easy for people to just come and speak English and tell us, hold your people accountable, hold them accountable. In the true sense, you can't hold anybody in political office in Nigeria accountable. You cannot. They just do what they want to do, and they have this impunity. You can't do anything about it. So if Nigeria is talking serious, if the government wants to say something that's serious, they should come and say something else, not local government autonomy. They should be talking about, just as they have taken us back to 1955 with the national anthem, they should also take us back to the currency that we were using as at that time. They should also take us back to the salaries of political office holders as at that time. If that is not what they are doing, forget it. Because as at that time, there was nothing like every federal government owns everything in Nigeria. Federal government didn't own everything in Nigeria then. As at that time, let's go back to that time. That's the only meaningful conversation this current administration will bring to the table that I will see as serious. Anything short of that is not serious. Do you know they talked about petroleum industry bill, PIB? Do you know they made a lot of noise about PIB? Under Buhari, it was signed. It's now Petroleum Industry Act. All right. Now with the PIA, what was the content of what they signed? It was completely different from the bill that was initially brought on the floor of the house. They just did it one kind, just they signed. Now the senators that people will say, oh, go and hold your senators responsible. The senators who joined from south, the same area that the whole country is feeding on, those who okay that law, those who supported the bill to become law, do you know how much they must have collected to have supported it? So whether they are still in the Senate or they are not in the Senate, they are covered for the rest of their lives. So we have representatives who don't really care about the people they represent. They don't care about the people. If they care about the people, we will know. There is nothing the people can do to them unless you want to take laws into your hands. Unless we want to support jungle justice, there is nothing the people can do. If you say let us go to court, you have just wasted your time, because you go to court and waste your time, then you'll be out. You will not even, first of all, you will not even have evidence of what you are talking about. If everything that PDP and the Labour Party took to court, the tribunal did not see evidence in all of those things they brought, they didn't see any evidence. Appeal court didn't see evidence. Supreme Court didn't see evidence. So what evidence are you now going to bring that this senator did not serve well? That one a case where you want to go court, that the senator gave 500 million for street lights. How do you go to court to prove it? First of all, that it was 500 million? That's one. Then number two, how do you prove that the light that they did, the contract is not up to 500 million? So when you see how cumbersome the process is, you just look at it, Baba, there's no need. This is why these people continue to do rubbish, because they know nobody can hold them. Once they are in the office, they are in the office. Somebody can just be making sense on the floor of the house. They will laugh at the person. The person will look stupid. They will laugh at the person. Nothing will happen. See, if you like make trouble, just be the only senator shouting. That's why some senators, some weak senators, decided not to be talking. Not because they really agree with what they are saying, no, but because they are weak people. They just don't want to be seen as the person that is always raising alarm. Look at the other guy that was complaining about a 500 million bribe. that they gave suspension, how many senators did you see raise their hand in protest for that guy? Nobody. They suspended him, suspended his salary. He had to go home. So do you think when he resumes, he will raise his hand to talk to antagonize Akpabio or anybody? He won't do that. So when you look at Nigeria, you know, it's got that even the people you are fighting for, many of the people you are fighting for don't even know you are fighting for them. So they will even crucify you when they bring your matter to them. So the people will just say, let me go and eat my money, do even if it's 4 years. Do you know if you do 4 years in Nigerian Senate, you are made for life? Just do 4 years in Nigerian Senate, you are made for life. Nobody can take you to any court in Nigeria and win. No soul can do that. That's why these people go there to amass wealth, because they have even discovered that some of the people they are even fighting for are people who don't even know their left from their right. You are fighting for them, they'll be insulting you. Oh, this man is not sharing money. Do you know if a senator comes to his village and does not share money for people, they see him as an evil man? Sees him as an evil man. If he puts borehole in the place and say people should go and fetch water, people will still complain that that water place and I in one chop. Sometimes they will buy water for tanker. Give us money. They want to buy clothes. That's what concerns them. There are a lot of people who are even suffering that don't know the meaning of development. How do you know? They still clap for the people who are killing them. They clap for them, they praise them, they just like them. I just like this man, I don't know why. How could somebody have campaigned for a man that didn't tell you what he was going to do? A man that was running from camera. Somebody campaigned for him. I asked the person why. He said, I just like the man. I like what he did when he was governor. You like. So it's not as if you have facts that, oh, this man can do this thing. No, you just like him because of what you think he did. This is somebody who is not even thinking about the future. He's not thinking about where Nigeria is. People vote for people because they like them. Somebody said, Obi, I don't like him, he has woman voice. You can imagine how somebody was. So you are voting for somebody because you don't like his voice. Not that you don't like what he says, you don't like his voice. Is that not madness? But there are millions of people who have such opinion. So why is he talking like this? Does he not have baritone? So because he doesn't have baritone, he said, I beg you. Then some just say, not be Igbo people, others be Biafra. I beg you. So they never, as Obi was talking, they were not hearing what he was saying. You know why? They already carried an opinion.
You're not listening.
You see a wheelbarrow pusher picking iron. He's saying, Wallahi, I will never vote for Obi. Because he's picking iron, he's not even informed. He doesn't know what is GDP. GDP does not make sense to him. So as you are quoting your statistics talking about GDP, did Tinubu not tell us now statistics we go chop? Somebody running for office, he said now statistics we go chop. Lawyers were laughing.
50 million youth in the army.
The current minister of aviation was laughing. Quack, 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 quack. Now statistics will go chop.
And the funny thing is that the man is doing exactly the same thing he told you he would do. he released Nabado from Federal Reserve.
Ali Baba posted something that Mr. President said. I played it. I didn't comment. You know why I not comment? I said, I shouldn't be a troublemaker because I just listened to Mr. President talking. I don't know the direction where the guy they talk go. So I couldn't really pinpoint what is this man saying. He talked about local government for a while. He talked about ECOWAS. At least the talk started from ECOWAS. From ECOWAS to local government. From there, we have to collaborate. From there, you have to go and tell your governors. You have to do this. You have to collaborate. Papa, are we supposed to be collaborating with government? Do you bring the plan to me to say, let's collaborate, let's look at the plan? Papa, we don't need to collaborate. Do something. Oh, boy. I expect you to come and tell us, we have started doing this thing already. We have done this. My team have done this. My team have looked at. Not to be telling us what you are supposed to be talking when you are talking to your inner caucus during campaign. 50 million youths, they not recruit. But he says so. Labor. Recruit, that's how to solve the insecurity. Recruit 50 million youths into the army, and the 1 year you have not recruited 5 into the army, and you are still talking about state governors. Go and meet state governors, they are in charge of land. Ah man, I just look and say, Baba, I don't want to talk. There's no need, man. There's no need to talk. What am I going to talk about? Because there is difference between speaking English and making sense. There are people who cannot speak English. There are people who can speak English. Some people who can speak English still don't make sense even with the English they speak. While some who don't know how to speak English can make sense if it is not English they are speaking. But the reason why they will not make sense is because they don't know how to speak English. Then there are people who don't even know how to speak English and they don't make sense. We have people ruling us who know how to speak English, but they really don't make sense out of the English they speak. No
Sean, I'm sending
strategy.
you invites. I'm sending you invites. Are you not getting it?
No strategy. Nothing. And people just sit down, they just begin to clap. They just clap. At least let me do this one. You know, people are clapping for national anthem. National anthem. People are clapping. They are clapping for national anthem. And the national anthem, even the people who sign up, those senators, they're not sabi sing am. I posted a
See,
video.
on the last time that Tinubu came into the National Assembly, they were singing on your mandate. I was watching it live on NTA again. You see, when you said legislature is part of is an arm of
It's
executive, you are
an arm
not.
of executive.
You didn't lie. Again, they were singing. This is people that have already approved the new national anthem. They were playing the national anthem, but they were singing "On Your Mandate we shall stand." Bola. That's when you will know that Nigeria. If you are expecting anything better from Nigeria, you're a fool to start with. If you are really expecting anything meaningful from Nigeria, sure, I'm accepting you. I don't know what is going on. See, Nigeria is a
According
very.
to government textbook, there are 3 arms of government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. That is for book. Do you know that what we experience today as it stands in Nigeria is we have executive arm of government, and that is government. Executive. That's all. Because under the executive, you have the legislature.
My
Under that, you have the
Oga at the
judiciary.
top. That's all.
Where people will just begin to agree with either House of Assembly will just agree with the governor.
Take a bow. Take a
And
bow.
Senate
Take a
will just
bow.
agree with the president.
Oh my
They just agree.
God.
They just agree. Bring this one approved. Bam. You just see nobody is debating anything. They will just
Mr.
bring
Peter, Mr.
things.
Peter,
Nobody debates it. They just pass it. Then if they give a little chance for debate, if somebody is talking, people are laughing. The people who will hit the gavel, they will be laughing. You just know that what this person is saying is nonsense. Once the person finish talking the rubbish, they will just hit those who say I. There was one time when
Did you see the
Lawal,
woman? Did you see the woman that was trying to say,
they
"What
finished
are we really
that one
celebrating?"
now.
They
They
were.
finished that one.
The speaker was saying, and the woman said, "Oh, protect me." The speaker said, "Is it not the same democracy that is protecting you?"
okay. Mr. Odera, this is my point on this issue of Nigerians.
Oh my God! Sorry, who is speaking?
It's mean or limited favor.
Can you show
Yeah.
your face? Let's know you. We don't know you, please.
This way is kind of a little bit blocked out. Because that is why.
Just on your camera for a bit. Let people know you,
Okay.
please.
One
At
second.
least we know you. No vex.
So
Oh,
this
hi,
is my
my
take.
brother.
eh,
We can see you. It's good. It's good. You
so
can talk.
this
Peter,
is my
can you
take.
mute?
This is my take. We shouldn't expect any positive impact towards this current government. we all know the expectation and how the might got into the power. And then for the past 8 years or decade, we know how the elite being appoint the aspirant like the person that is going to be the next president. You understand? All we Nigeria are saying we are just is noise. I'm
Noise.
telling you, we all know because it's like Nigeria is a business venture. I'm telling you, if we shout from now to tomorrow, they will still be doing the same thing. What are the solution? Is we Nigeria have to come out there that this have to stop. I was watching one House of Rep was a lady. She was trying to like, what are we celebrating? And look at what the speaker he was saying. All of them they are like fighting for their pockets. They are not fighting for their consequences. So what are we talking about? The governor as well, the senator as well. So for me, there is no way forward. The way forward is only the citizen of the country to stood up like this have to stop. Because doing this, doing that, I don't see any changes in the next 4 years, brother. That is my own thing.
Yes, initially I said we already know what you just said now. We already know that Nigeria is not, with what is on ground. Do you understand? And the legitimacy of, how Tinubu came on power. But again, I said the body language of Mr. Tinubu is at least better than Buhari for what is worth, right? Yes, in his manifesto, he has not even accomplished anything in this 1 year and 3 years more to go. But let's just say on this particular topic, the federal government is taking the state to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has given the state 7 days ultimatum. And they are calling it illegal fireworks. Nigeria want to really show that they are smart when it comes to...
Let me come in, Odera.
So,
okay, so...
No, Kid, please, 1 second. I want to ask him a question. So I want him to respond to this. So when it comes to what they call legal fireworks, legal luminary, they want to brag that they are educated, they can speak English in the law court. So now they are all coming to go to court to debate whether the state should have the local government under them as it is, or should local governments have autonomy. So let's keep the thought of Nigeria can never work in one side, as a given. But at the same time, with what is presently happening, with what Tinubu is trying to do you think, are you on the side of the federal government for local government to have autonomy? Or are you in the side of the state for all the allocation to be going to the state to decide how to, send it to the local government? Also, having in mind that Nigerians, all of us, regardless of tribe, are corrupt. Go ahead.
This is my point. First and foremost, is it inside the constitution that a local government should have autonomy?
So I don't really know the constitution very well, but I think the constitution, and actually I want to ask this as a question. Do we really vote for local government in Nigeria?
No.
That's another question. Is local government, because it seems like local government is used as a reward system for the aboros that help them, which is so-called structures. And also, we're supposed to have councils. So again, by the constitution, the federal government is saying that they're supposed to have autonomy. And that's why our constitution is rubbish anyway. So that's why they are going to the Supreme Court.
That's why I say you should let me come in, other wait.
Okay, come in, kid.
On
help
the
us
issue of
understand.
local government autonomy, I want to say something to Peter before I continue. Peter, you are somebody that I respect so much. And because I respect you so much, there are some people that when they talk, I don't clinch, I don't react, because I really don't expect a lot from them anyways. Honestly, as an academic, you and I know that 2 or 3 facts can exist independently. I can say that I can say I don't like Tinubu, but I like his government. I can say I like Tinubu, but I don't like his government. I can say I don't like Peter Obi, but I like what he's saying. I don't know if I get what I'm trying to say. I can say, oh, I don't like the way this government came about. While I don't agree with all that they are doing, I can single out on this particular issue. I think it's a right step in the right direction. I thought I should put that out there. Now, having said that, I am one of the people out there, and I've mentioned it to you before here, that I don't see the need, the timing, even if I know for many years people have been clamoring that they should go back to that old national anthem. Even my dad has said that before, that the lyrics seem to align more with our being as a people. He has said, and I've heard many people, I've heard Michael Zwekome say this thing before. These are people, these are not Tinubu people. I'm talking about people that mentioned this before. But what I have a problem with is, you can do a right thing at the wrong time. Now we have a barrage of problems. People's purchasing power is being depleted by dollar, by inflation. Every now and then, there is insecurity everywhere. And of all the problems that people are having, the problem that National Assembly is saying is with the national anthem. Do you know how long it takes the National Assembly to debate some issues? So a bill can be that accelerated in Nigeria, where you can pass a bill and make it law within a couple of days. And they cannot do that for things that border on the lives and property of people.
On that, Tinubu wants it. You know, there's a difference between a senator. Hold on, now I just want to help your point. I just want to help your point.
I know what is going on. Hold on. I'm highlighting something that when something is dear to them, that's what I'm going to. When something is when they take something as priority, it will scale through. That is the point I'm making. That it means that they really don't prioritize people. That because Tinubu wants it now is the reason it got such an accelerated hearing. It is very sad. It is very, very sad. So put that on the second. Now, speaking of local government autonomy, bro, the countries that we reference, and I make bold to say, no matter the country, is it in the UK? What you have in the UK, bro. Some of you don't even know. Some people don't even relate to Rishi Sunak or anything. If you live in London, the person that directly affects you, the one that directly affects you, is this guy Khan. What's his name? And it's a replica of what local government should be about, bro. Everybody, if you like, you can be saying whatever you like, and that's why I was clinging when Peter was talking. When Peter was talking and saying that local government, and all of a sudden, one of the things that we have been clamoring for since you and I know, we have been talking since, is that local governments are not empowered. We have been saying this thing since. All of a sudden, you are making light of it because it's Tinubu that is talking about it. We know that one of the problems we have is that every single time we are looking at Abuja. See, bro, and we are not going to do anything major to the constitution. The constitution recognizes 774 local government. The problem is there's a lacuna in that constitution that allows state government to hold on to the money.
Do we vote for them?
Let me land.
No. Do we vote?
Bro, can you let me land? Bro, am I not making sense to you what I'm saying?
No, you're making sense, but I'm asking a question. I'm not trying to antagonize you. I'm saying, do we vote for those local governments?
I'm heading somewhere. That you don't like a system does not mean it does not exist. We vote for them. How credible the elections are is a different conversation altogether. There are local government.
No, I'm talking about the local government. Do we vote for local government chairman?
We vote for them. I'm saying to you, we vote for them. We vote for them. And you can go and fact check me. We vote for them. How credible the elections are is a different kettle of fish. These guys the elections are not conducted by.
Sorry, kid, hold on, please. Kid, sorry, I'm honestly sorry. Please, I want to ask you this question. When we vote election, we do presidential, governorship, and House of Assembly. We also have the state one.
That's why you need to listen. It is not conducted by INEC. Can you listen to me?
Okay. Go ahead.
It is not conducted by INEC. It's conducted by by a replica of INEC at the state level. They are mostly appendages of the state governors. The state governors determine what these guys do. It's a case of who pays the piper dictates the tune. And that's what I've said it this many times, and I've told Peter this before. If we have just 25%, that federal government that you think is not good, bro, and I put this to anybody, that federal government that you think is not good, what is happening at the federal government level? If you have just 25% of the transparency we have at federal government level, if you have at state level, bro, the state will not be at the state that they are right now. Bro, look at what you're saying. It is not connected by INEC. Go and check.
Okay.
Go and check. Don't argue. Don't even argue with me.
This is my
Wait,
take. You said
wait, bro. Wait. It is not connected by INEC. It's connected by like a replica of INEC at state level. I think they call them maybe something SEC or something is what they call them. See, something SEC or something that is what they call them. Bro, what needs to happen? What Tinubu is trying to do is to give power to that part of constitution that allows local government to be independent and remove a case where they will send money that is meant for states and meant for local government. They will send it to the account of local government of state, and state will now sit on the fund, and they will not sit as the state will not sit. They will not sit on the fund. I will not make local government. So until we give power to local government, bro, these things will not see the kind of things that we want in Nigeria. So, bro, and by the way, I see that you are saying that it should be regional government instead. I disagree with you. Now, so if you are saying that local government should be closer to people, and you say they should remove local government, so how will regional government, because regional government is going to be in between federal and state level. What you are doing is that you are creating another red tape between, do you know what red tape is? Red tape or bureaucracy between state government and federal government. So there will not be another government level there will be another government layer at that point where you are now creating more bureaucracy in the process, right? So my own take in all of this is that I think that since the Constitution recognizes local government as part of our federation, the lacuna that the state governors are exploiting to make sure that they hold on to the funds meant for local government should be what's the word now? Should be blocked. And that's what local government should get their monies directly, so that they know they are closer to the people. They know the communities that need borehole. They need communities that need road. They can be more empowered to do other things. And I agree that is not a bullet stuff that will solve every problem. No, we will still need to hold them accountable. But it might be easier to hold your local government accountable because they should ordinarily be living amongst your community. So if you want to get to the house of the local government, you can easily get there. No matter how if you call Tinubu, Tinubu will leave power. There are many Nigerians that would never see Tinubu. But if I want to see your local government chairman, it might be something as simple as you just going to local government area of your whatever, and then you get to see this. So those are the benefits that you might want to ask me a question. Yeah, let me stop there.
So
all right, thank you for your submission. I'm gonna allow you to speak. Hi, what's your name? Hold on. My brother, what's your name? Unlimited Favor. Now, Kid, please, let's not join issues. Regional government is good. Regional government to replace 5 state governors, for example, for the Igbos, and give them one regional head. And then replace the northern. I don't know whether they were going to do it by geopolitical or whether they'll do it by tribe. I don't know. But what it will mean is instead of having multiple governors, you have one leader. That does not negate or stop the local government. The local government can still be there to work with them. Now, while you were talking,
so regions will replace governors.
Yes. So regions will replace governors. but then the state, but then the, what do you call it? Because if you look at the British system, they still allow Wales to be regional, to have the autonomy, but they still have councils. So you still have local government level, you have the regional, and then you have the central, which is now going to be a federal. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's how it's supposed to be. That's the British system. So while you were talking, I had a little read on what you said, and you are right. Yes, in 2003, the original model was changed by Obasanjo, right? And then what you got is you have the federal accounts paying directly to the state governors through the structure of the joint state and local government account. And this is what they are trying to go and change, to remove this joint state and local government account, to give local government autonomy. Do you understand? And by this, by your second claim that this is not done by INEC is actually true. So local governments are now all of 2 years. Elections are conducted by state electoral commission, which is why they say the state governors don't carry out these elections. So it's supposed to be done by state electoral commission and independent of INEC, strictly at the government's or the governor's pleasure.
Have you noticed that I don't jump on your life all the time? Do you know why? Because I don't say what I don't know.
No, I appreciate it. And if you also notice, I always give you that respect. I always say that you know your onion. Sean, I'm trying to accept you. I don't know what is happening. I've tried to accept you. In your absence, I can bring master. But what I'm trying to say is that this local government, and that's why some people will accuse some governors that they don't actually carry out this election. And if they don't carry out the election, that means there is nobody there to sort of fill that post. And at the same time, what then you have is that there is nobody to receive this money. And then some governors...
There's one thing I want to quickly say. You know, when I was talking, I said, to me, the local government autonomy is finally not an issue to me. You know why? I've seen too many things in this country. These people, they are not, a lot of them are noisemakers. They are not fighting for the people. They are fighting for themselves. I'll give you an example. Wike, was he a local government chairman at the time in his life or not? He was. When he was local government chairman, did he complain that the state government was caging them? Of course he did. When he now became governor, did he now uncage the local government chairman, since he was once a local government chairman who suffered from the injustice? Goodluck Jonathan, I heard, was a local government chairman before he became deputy governor and governor. When he was governor, did he uncage the local government governments in Bayelsa? These are very important questions.
Peter, I have answered the question.
He said,
answer the question. I can answer you if you want me to answer you.
Okay.
The answer
Okay.
to that question is that when you leave something to someone's discretion, it is to their discretion. But when you legislate something, you have legislated something. I'll give another example. Before now, as a president, you could choose your minister anytime you want. And that was why Buhari took that long. I want to put it to you that if you did not think the constitution to say that you must appoint your minister at so time, do you know that Buhari would have taken Tinubu would have taken as much time as maybe not, but it would have taken more time because Tinubu practically gave the list like a day before the expiration of he didn't even give the full list. You know why? Because there was a law at that point compelling him to do it. I don't know if I get. So I'm saying to you that when you leave something to someone's discretion, you are saying that you are leaving it to their judgment, to how they feel about it, to their emotion and to their biases and sentiments. It's a different thing when it becomes a law where they have to obey. I don't know if I answer your question.
Okay, kids, let me come in before master come in. We have identified two things. We've identified number one, local governments are not part of INEC elections in Nigeria. Number two, we've identified that they operate since Obasanjo's time. Please mute your mic if you're not speaking. They've operated a joint state and local government account. Now, what the federal government is trying to achieve is, one, to give autonomy to the local government. But the other question should be also, whilst you are doing that, are you going to also make them to be included in the INEC election? Because the dangers that some of these governors face, and what Peter is alluding to, is that we know that this is a reward system by the governors, whereby they choose their thugs. Just like you have the state assembly, and how they deal with the governors and become very big headache, especially if they are loyal to the predecessor. How do you then control that if you give them autonomy? That means the federal government will not only have 36 states to deal or contend with or take to court, they will have 774 local government chairmen to contend with. And also, are we going to, by and large, adopt the councillors as well? So when we are dealing these things with our constitution, can we come with a holistic approach to deal with all our problems, and not just to do okay, this is the one that we think is the main problem now, whereas you are leaving the other ones? Because if we're not actually voting for all those people, you can as well say that they are, yes, at the discretion of the governors, but we can see that sometimes they don't do this voting.
That is why bills pass through several stages. You have first reading, you have second reading, you have all of those things. When they are doing these things, they will look at those loopholes that will come up. Because anytime, see, any system that is run by men is not perfect. And that is why when you are putting together a law, you will also have a means to amend the law. I don't know if that makes sense to you, because you and the taste of the sweetness of a soup is in tasting it. You would never know no matter how, even if you use 200 years to put together a law, until you test that law by operating it, you will never know the lacuna when people start to operate it. And it is not like it's not a Nigerian factor. It's everywhere in the world. Which is why when you put together a constitution, you also have the amendment procedure, because it is when you start to implement the law that you begin to see some of the things that you guys did not think about. And as life evolves, that there might be some things that will begin to happen that you guys did not envisage will happen at the time you are putting together the law. So, and that's why the amendment is very sacrosanct. Anytime you are putting together a law, I thought I should mention that to you. So, and on a final note, for me, see, you're saying
no, but do you think we should do it now or do it as a review later? In terms of
it's going to be done. It's a holistic, so they will do it. That's what I'm saying to you. That is why it's a process. It's a process,
okay.
and that's why it's a process. And I want to tell you that you're saying that how will the president deal with the local government? The president does not need to deal with local government, by the way. The same way that governors give the president headache, the president is practically begging the governors to use the money that they are getting to take care of their people. And that is what the president can do. The president cannot force them to do anything because they are autonomous. The same thing.
Lastly, the question I will ask you, kid, is what of immunity?
Immunity from where, please?
Immunity that all of the governors and presidents enjoy in Nigeria. Why they carry out the rubbish they are doing?
Yeah, but
which is not enjoyed elsewhere anyway. Like what I've explained in Boris being sent away. What you can see in America with Trump being convicted.
Stop modeling up things. American president.
I'm not modeling up. I'm giving you examples of places that don't enjoy immunity.
I've heard you. American president enjoys immunity. By the way, in case you know, go and Google. You cannot.
Okay, let's put it this way. What of the immunity when they're out of office?
Listen now. Bro, stop going around. You said something I corrected you now. Bro. American president does not enjoy immunity. Enjoys immunity. You cannot jail American president because there's a reason why it is there. They don't want it to be derailed by all sort of, because they know the society that they belong. Everybody has rights. If we say that you can
there is an impeachment clause.
Let me land. You can prosecute an American president in a month. American president will have nothing less than 5,000 cases that he will be attending to. You will not be able to do this.
Yes,
number one. Number two, so just listen to me. Number two, in Nigeria, a former president does not enjoy immunity. What happens is there's like a gentleman agreement. Listen to me carefully. There's like an unwritten agreement, gentleman agreement, and it's not a Nigerian factor. Since when did you see that Trump is about the only president that this is happening to? Have you noticed? No other president that this.
I just told you about Boris.
Wait.
I just told you about a sitting Rishi Sunak getting a ticket from an ordinary operator on the road for driving offensive.
A ticket is. I'm saying. I just talked about prosecution now. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. You are not listening, Baba. I said the same way they will issue you tickets if you overspeed. They issue the whole prime minister the same ticket. And he paid. If he didn't pay, it will escalate.
Bro, immunity now. Stop. I heard you. People they're listening to us. See, yeah, immunity covers. Bro, immunity covers. Sure, you get like. I heard what he said now, bro. Ticket is different. Ticket is different. We're talking about prosecution immunity, and then it does not cover the former president. It's just, listen to me. It's just that. There is like an unwritten gentleman agreement. Because in a way, listen to what I'm about to say. In a way, you also know the negative effect it has on the reputation of your country if you are dragging a former president. Look at all the things that Buhari did. All the things that Buhari did. Buhari was dancing around Jonathan. All the dance. He picked he picked everything. Did he touch Jonathan? I want to ask you. Did you touch Jonathan? He didn't touch Jonathan now. So,
no, because Jonathan allowed him to have a free pass.
No.
Otherwise, Jonathan would have fought him.
They were
begging Jonathan not to contest.
Odera. You didn't listen to understand what Kid Auspicious said.
No,
you listened to talk
understood, but I'm giving him another superior point.
Goodluck
was actually begged.
It's not a superior point, Odera.
Peter knows what I'm talking about. Like, it's like, I'm not saying it is right. I'm saying to you that it's like a gentleman.
It's
like,
a gentleman agreement.
Like, it's not an agreement. Like, you cannot be like, sure you get like the.
That's why Kid Auspicious, that's why when Buhari was leaving, he said, I'm going back to my border. I'll see you people later, because he knows nobody will disturb him there. You can attack all his ministers, even vice president, you can attack, but you can't attack the head.
Thank you, my brother Zakonobi. SA prosecuted the former president. Trump was prosecuted. In fact, some places, like China, they will buy you, while you are still in power. In fact, Trump's own started while he was in power. One of the secret cabinet agents.
You see what you are doing, eh? You are talking about all these places. We have told you the policy and the structure of Nigerian political system. Understand that.
No,
we are not telling you. Listen,
I understand.
Listen. You keep throwing all these places. But I don't give a care about Trump or America. It is what is happening in Nigeria. Understand, this is Nigerian system. Don't talk about America's system. America's system is peculiar to America.
Talk your own. Where do you stand on the topic?
Master, before you come in, Odera, if Trump was not contesting re-election, this will not happen to him.
But at least if he was in power when the Secret Service agent brought the case and they started the query. I'm telling you that you are in power does not give you immunity in some places. But let's leave that topic. Master, come in.
Thank you. Me, I believe and I support what Kid Auspicious said to a degree. But where I stand a bit different is that everything you people have been going around the bush talking, everything is there in black and white. But the Nigerian problem is the enforcement of this, how to go about it. Because there is a law that states, why do you even have local government election in the first place? If there is no law or power given to them, it is the application of power that is the problem. I don't know if you guys understand, especially you, Odera.
I've just read what Kid said. It's true. I've just read what we said. It's not done by INEC. It's done by state.
Everything I'm saying is that everything is in place for Nigeria to function as a society. The problem is that we do not have leaders capable of functioning. It is not that the law or there is everything in place. It is how, you see, Nigerians, we like to manipulate, So it is manipulation of law and system that we have. Everybody is there. There's a way to. Why will you vote for a local government chairman if local government chairman has no effect? Think about it. But it's the manipulation of the system that is the problem, not the system. The system is perfect. I don't support democracy. I've never supported it. Me, I'm an autocratarian. That's what me I support. That's what Nigeria deserves. But you
Nigeria
people,
is bastardizing the word democracy.
Nigeria is not bastardizing the word democracy. Democracy is a government for the people by the people, meaning how the people view life is the way. See, the government is just a reflection of the people. You can argue and argue with your ancestor, but you won't argue with me. I'll tell you, the government is a reflection of the people. So everything the government does is Nigerian way.
I think a lot of that, Master, comes from our electioneering process. We make
No,
it very difficult for a very good man to win. So it must be somebody that plays that level. For example, I gave example of where, what do you call it? The primaries, how much they sell their forms. APC sold as high as 50 million. I can't remember how much PDP sold.
but
Labour Party, it's like they sold about 5 million. If we made it free, what do you think will
that's the
happen?
problem.
Good people might be
That's
interested.
the problem. Why will you make it free? Nothing is
Wait,
free in this life.
where is he ever free? Where is he
Well,
ever
Okay,
even in America,
okay,
where is it
sorry.
free?
Let's make it affordable.
Everything is affordable. Is can you afford it? That 5 million is affordable to a lot of people. That 50 million might be affordable to few people. It is affordable. It is your level of affordability that is the question. It doesn't mean because you
Doctor
listen,
and
sir,
Kid,
sir,
do
sir.
you
It doesn't mean
agree?
because sir. It doesn't mean because you, like for example, look at this lighter in my hand now. It doesn't mean because you cannot afford to buy this lighter. This lighter is not affordable. Affordable is based on prospectus. If I deem it affordable for me, I can afford
Okay,
it.
let me ask you the question. Do you think our electioneering process is too expensive?
No. Do you
It
know
is
how
very
much they spend in
it is
election
very
in the
expensive.
UK or in
It is very
America?
expensive in
Master,
my view. It is very
sometimes the way
expensive.
you
It's
talk,
not
I don't know whether you just want to
expensive.
be right or you just want to be on the other side of the
No.
fence. I just asked you a question. Do you
Okay.
think, and listen carefully before you answer,
Okay, let me
please,
listen.
do you think that our electioneering process in Nigeria is expensive?
Are you asking me?
Let him answer. He's thinking.
Me personally, I don't think it is.
So
This
I'm
is
gonna
the
let him
problem with
answer his
Nigerians. We always have divergence
is his
of
opinion. Is his
opinions.
opinion. Is his opinion now? And
You
if
see,
you ask
that's
Things
him
are
why,
supposed
the
to be
problem.
very,
Wait,
ask
very
him
wait,
why.
easy,
wait, no,
not
no, no, no,
easy.
no. Kid, off your mic. Let me
Ask
cook
him
Peter for 1 minute. I mean,
why
sorry, let
now.
me cook Odera for 1 minute. Odera, you need to understand, you have this behavior. When people don't agree with your points, you think,
No,
okay,
there are things I expect to be very easy to understand. That's all.
okay, I understood what you said. Now, because we have two different approach, doesn't mean you are right. Neither does it mean I'm right. It's just we don't agree on this opinion. You need to understand that of life. It's not always your way. Nobody gives a fuck about your way. Your way is only in your house.
Please, mind language. All I'm saying is,
Understand
there are
everyone
things
has
I
points.
expect.
To
Hold on,
me,
master,
I
look
believe,
at it.
listen, to me, I believe it's not expensive. So what's the problem? You take my information and go. If you believe it's expensive, you tell me your own why you think it's expensive. You can't tell
Okay,
me
let's
I'm
let's
wrong.
hold on.
Odera,
Let's bring in Peter
Odera,
and Kid on this topic.
wait. Master, please, what do you think is not expensive?
No, first of all, let's get Peter's opinion. What do you think, Kid?
Let him tell you why now, Odera. Why you like this? Let him
No,
speak.
hold on now. He will go on a tangent, please. Let's answer the question first.
Let me quickly say that the opinion of Master of Coins is his opinion. However, we need to know why he thinks it is not expensive. What are the indices? But for me, Nigerian electoral system is extremely expensive. The reason is this. We are looking at the ways somebody can make money genuinely in Nigeria. How can somebody grow from a nobody and then aspire to be a leader and get there? If we are going by that, you discover that they deliberately made it high so that the good people
We will
their
not get
hand no go
there.
ever reach there.
Must we argue everything?
They will never be able to have that money to, first of all, pass through the money hurdle. So they will not definitely need somebody who have dipped his hand into many things to sponsor them. And once that person sponsors, you have already caged this person. The truth is, when we really want to look at the standard of how it should be, how it should run in a normal society, Nigeria's electoral system is too expensive. If they want to change things, they need to start from the money. Otherwise, before we now bring in the culture of sharing money, you know
Sorry,
that somebody that doesn't want to share money in Nigeria is as if the person is joking.
let me
Okay.
You see,
understand
the
your
person is
point.
Master, hold on. Let's ask Kid.
I want
Kid,
to
please,
understand. No,
what
no,
is
wait,
your
wait, wait,
opinion?
wait. Let me understand your point, please, Peter. Are you trying to say that it's only corrupt and bad people in Nigeria that have money? Because of what you said, the way you explained it, that's the way it's sounding like. Kid, am I wrong for seeing it like that?
No, it's not about having money. It's about wanting to play that level of politics that is
very,
expensive.
very good. It is what I wanted to say. Now, there is difference between having money and having money that you cannot explain. A lot of times, it's the money you cannot explain
I
that they
like
use
the
for
way Peter
Nigerian
talk.
politics. The money you can't explain the source is the kind of money they use in Nigerian politics. So that when you
Okay.
lose, you have not really lost. It's just that you lost the election, but you really didn't lost your money. That's the kind of money they use in Nigerian politics. There are people who are straight, who have not stolen, they have a lot of money. However, people with that kind of money always question, why should I spend this amount of money on this? Why should I buy votes? Why should I pay them? Because if I really want to go there to work, I will not buy them to push me there. Because if I buy them, I must definitely steal from them to be able to recover the money I spent. So that is why the people who make good money, the people who are straight in their dealings, when they look at how much they are going to spend first to secure the party tickets and all of those things, they will just not bother. But those who have duped the country, those who have done one or two illegitimate things that are still doing it, they want it by all means so that they can cover their tracks and their industry. We have people in Nigerian politics today, people in Senate, people in different places, who are alleged to be Azamen, Yahoo boys, who made a lot of money and then graduated into government. Now the government is now the MAGA. And then they still also cover their boys that are still on the streets, duping people all over the world. So we see these things on a daily basis. And these are the kind of money people who are ready to spend that money. If the money go, may go. It's not their business. But those who do clean business, they are not willing to spend that kind of money on
Thank you,
such
Peter.
event.
Kid, what do you think?
Okay,
What
so
is your
so
stake? You think it's
okay, so
expensive?
before I say that, Peter, I need to. I forgot to mention it when you got or go. I want to say kudos to you again for apologizing to Bongoli yesterday. You know why I'm saying this? It, it is stronger people that apologize, not weak people like people think. Bro, I dropped my car for you again. Yeah, that was really
Well
like
done, Peter. Well done.
respect for you yesterday.
Peter,
Like
pin the comments
went
that is
up,
praising
it's top
you. Read
notch.
it.
It's top notch. God bless you, my brother. So now, having said that, right? So one thing that I want to say, bro, is that I think it's expensive, and I'm not comparing it to. I'm not saying is it more expensive than the US. That's not what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying, bro.
How much?
Now, if you look at
Master, Master. Nah,
listen,
you alone on this one.
listen. I'm not supporting the war.
Nah, you
I'm just saying
alone,
the
Master.
facts. I know the thought. I know what's probably in the mind of Master.
No, no,
Master is
no.
looking at it in
You
a
don't
Baba,
know
there
my
is
mind.
nothing
Please
in his
wait,
mind
finish. I
that
want
makes
to
sense.
talk
Give
my
this
mind.
guy.
When you
yeah,
please,
There is
you
nothing
what
in
I'm
see,
his
saying.
I
mind.
didn't say
So
anything.
he
You
So
wants to
people will
argue for
talk. I'll
arguing's
talk
sake.
my own mind. Talk. I let
okay,
Peter talk. You talk.
okay,
Then I'll talk
okay,
my mind. Talk.
okay. So in the US, for example, election is freaking expensive in the UK. Yeah,
Crowdfunded.
let me land. And the funders, the question is, are we as rich as the US? The answer is no. So it is not comparison. So in the context of our own resources, I think the amount that goes into our election is way too much. Number one. The question is why? Why? Is simple. It's because the people, for the most part, are worse than the leaders because they want to be paid for them to vote, and they will not vote for a Peter or an Odera that goes with a blueprint that is what I would do for you without first of all waiting the ground. That's the major part. That's why me I
Thank
don't.
you.
That's why me I don't exonerate people in this country. People are even worse than their leaders. That's number two. Number three
Kid, God
point.
bless
Let me learn.
you.
Number three point. Number three point. And I'm going to say this out there. And I don't mind what is the one person that I think ran campaign funding in the way that it is done in a place like US and Canada in the last election was Peter Obi. Peter Obi was the one person that ran the campaign funding in the way it is done. Because even in the
No, I
US that
think
we're talking
so
about,
as well. I think so
wait
as
now.
well.
Of course, you know, I'm a red guy now, but I'm talking about the three frontliners now. Sure, you get so,
Mm.
and you know that me and I do support Peter Obi, but when I see something, bro, facts are sacred. I normally say this thing: facts are sacred. You don't. So Peter Obi was the one person amongst the three frontrunners that ran it in the way that it is done in the West, and I will say what I mean because even the America that we're saying that is that they spend a lot of money. Hold on, there is a cap of the money that can come from your pocket, even if you have it. They put a cap. It is it's a law that Odera, if you are contesting today, there is an amount that you
Other,
cannot.
wait, kid. Other, I'll pin down comment. If it's someone I joke, listen, other, listen. Let me warn you now.
Don't worry, I
When
will
I'm in
open and
your
I will
life,
open up.
no, listen. If it's Sean or X or someone stupid like
I
Kid
found it funny.
Auspicious
I found it
that make
funny,
that
but anyway.
statement, you can pin it. Not all these bastards, please.
Okay,
Continue.
let's go back. Let's go back to what we were saying. So what I'm saying is that so in the US, in Canada, in the UK, there's a cap on the amount that can come from your pocket for your own campaign. Even if you have the money, I don't remember the amount again, maybe 10,000 or something. You cannot spend beyond that amount to go into your campaign. You have to solicit campaign funding from party members, from the community, from everywhere. And in the US, a huge portion of this amount comes from. Do you know why they cannot regulate guns in the US? Do you know
Lobbyist.
why? It is
Lobbyist.
because the major funders of elections in the US are the people that are selling guns,
And the gun lobbyist, yes.
the gun lobbyists, and they give money to candidates. So you know that is why this convention should be holistic, so that we'll not be saying, oh, Nigeria is bad or something. Politics, for the most part, is politics. That's why I said that other you need to come to my master class and come and take on political lessons. Okay,
Then when you finish in
I will
his
charge
master
you.
class,
I
you
will
come to
charge
my
you.
PhD class.
No, kid. Forget the lobbyist one side. What I asked you is our own. In fact, let me even raise the question more further. Democracy is expensive everywhere, or
Rubbish.
democracy is even more expensive in America because they have to crowdfund. Now, why I mentioned Showore is that Showore gave account of how he spent his money because he know it was not just his money, it was crowdfunded. Peter Obi also have given auditors to audit what Labour, because that's why some people like Kenneth Okonkwo left Labour, because they believe that this guy, the former chairman of, or the present chairman of Labour Party, has some issues, right? They are still doing the audit. Whenever he finishes, they will say. So that's how it's being run. But what I'm saying is that whether it is crowdfunded or not, it is still very expensive. Number one, you have to play party politics. You finish, then you start doing the ideal one. So you have to do 36 states. If you want to be a president, if you want to be a governor, you have to go and do that race. You have to, set up podium and all that. Then there is still people that want to be taking money from you. Then there is also the unofficial and official lobbying or bribing and what have you. So somebody like me that really want to help Nigeria, that is a good person, that is, holy, I cannot survive in Nigeria.
Who
First
told you
of
you're
all,
a
I don't
good
have
person?
the funds.
Who made the judgment that you're a good person? Who told you you're a good person?
Wait.
Okay, somebody better than of the people you have there. Eh? You will see that I will then need a political father. And when that political father invests his funds in me, then I will now be indebted to him like Fubara and Wike's case. Are you getting the whole godfatherism in Nigeria? And that's why they have to steal money because they are preparing for the next election. Master, come in.
So, as I said, it's not expensive because election everywhere, nowhere does election cheap. Nowhere. Maybe you are talking of some backwater country that you created with your squad. Apart from that, in the real world, election is very expensive. Why? Because you have to campaign, you have to travel. Forget all this thing you are talking. Money needs to be burnt during election. During election time, money burns everywhere. UK, America, anywhere you want to talk about, Peter, money burns. If you are in the society and you are part of the society and you are registered business, you will even feel the burning. Why? Some stupid bond go touch your hand and you'll be like, wow. Ooh. So it is standard for money to burn in election. Nigeria is not expensive. Don't say it is expensive. Say it's expensive based on your affordability. I could understand that fact and say, yes, you have a clear case. But don't tell me that it's expensive. Oga, even our prime minister here, his campaign is not beans. In case you don't know how much.
I'm in the UK.
America, Oga, keep
Which
off your
which
mic, let
campaign
me
did
cook.
he do?
Oga, off your mic, let me cook.
Oh, master,
Look at
you
Donald
can
Trump.
lie.
Wait now, look at Donald
Show
Trump, all of them in
me,
America.
Sean, you are in the UK. Which campaign did he do? Rishi Sunak, is it the UK system? Is not from the parliament that they select the prime minister. Which campaign did he do? Is it not this one? They will be walking in my street, knock on my door, give me leaflet
So
and
wait,
walk up.
all these party people and the campaign that they are doing for the party,
Where are
what do
they
you
doing
think
the
that
campaign?
is? For the
Which
party,
campaign? Where are they doing?
what
For
do
the
you think
party,
they are
where?
doing that? Wait, you
Where?
just said, wait, sorry, you said all those people knocking on your
These are
door to do what?
volunteers. They're volunteers, bro. They're volunteers. You can volunteer to be going and sharing leaflet.
Don't knocking is not
Do
where the
you
money
think
goes.
it is
So
campaign in
don't
Nigeria?
knocking. Hey, listen. See, bro, let me say
Do
Other,
you know
master,
what is campaign in
I don't even have
Nigeria?
master,
anything to say to you on that point. On
master,
that point, Odera, you are very
master,
Oh God, I knew somebody else in the UK. Ah,
wait,
what are you talking?
master, Odera,
The flyer,
Wait,
now free. The flyer where they share for Nigeria. You know how many they share?
wait
The one where they go
now,
post for
Odera,
everywhere, post for motor, post for. You know what? You know what?
wait
Be election in Nigeria.
Odera, I'm very involved in the politics of the. When I say I'm very involved, I mean very involved. Wait, I'm very involved to the point that I can technically
ignorance is
all
not an
all campaign.
excuse.
So see where the money goes, even though door knocking is part of it, and the part of it that goes to door knocking is when people come around, you give them food and you give them flyers. The major money is those ads. The ads, the
No,
money
leave
you give,
Odera, ads are free.
the ads is
Oh,
freaking expensive. The money you use to, you open your mailbox. Listen to me, Odera. You open your mailbox, you go and pick your mail, and you see the campaign material of somebody running election. You think that is cheap?
no, it's very cheap. It's very free. Odera, don't worry, leave Odera, leave him.
So you are telling me that printing this thing that Nigeria does double.
Ignorance is
Oh,
not
oh,
there.
let
Now,
me ask
okay.
you a question.
Although
Maybe let's do it this way.
I think
No,
the
no,
best
give
way.
me 1 second. Let me give me 1 second. Let me do it this way. In Nigeria, you see posters on people's fences. You see people going with like vehicle, playing music, and do you know what is called campaign in Nigeria? You have to have like it's America that do it very well because America has this kind of what we practice in Nigeria. They will do what they call Larrys. They will go places, set up podiums, invite musicians. It's a whole lot that goes into election. Do you understand? UK is from their prime ministers, which is simply not to do very, very cheap, extremely cheap. Their prime ministers, their what do you call this?
Wait, is
Parliamentarians are
Sean still here?
allowed to
Sorry,
work.
is Sean still here?
Sean, If Sean is still here, I would like to
Please,
bring Sean up.
I would like for you to bring Sean and let
Are
you
you
be
a party
talking
member?
to our
Are you a
citizens.
party member, Odera?
Not, I'm not a party member. No,
I'm a party member. And they said,
I'm not saying they don't
listen,
spend
listen,
money.
listen,
I'm
listen,
not
listen,
saying they
Odera,
don't
you
spend
don't
listen,
see
money.
listen,
Odera,
listen,
eh?
listen, listen,
Listen to understand.
listen,
Sometimes
listen,
your
listen,
ignorance and don't
listen,
use it
listen.
as
I'm a
excuse. It's
party
not
member.
justified
I'm
all
a
the
party member.
time.
I get emails from my party every month. They are asking me to listen. So I can educate you. They send emails to me every month. They'll ask me to donate a tax deductible donation so that you can put towards your tax. That when you're filing your tax, they'll give you receipts for your tax filing. It's a big deal, bro. It's from that money. It's from that money, and that's why I told you that the difference is where the money comes from. It will not come from a single pocket. Party members will donate to that campaign, and it's from that money that they will fund the campaign of members. Are you listening to what I'm saying at all? There are some
Yeah, I'm
people that
listening, but
Wants to
does
talk.
it
He
happen
wants
in
to talk.
Nigeria as well? Does it happen in Nigeria?
oh there are you're not learning. You're not
You are,
learning. I will leave this life.
that's
I
my
am
point.
learning,
Next
but I'm
week.
asking
This
you a
is what I
question.
always
I'm
tell
asking
Odera.
you,
You
in
never
Nigeria, do
learn.
party members pay?
You see,
Odera, look, God
let,
bless you. See what
let me
Sean
let
said,
me
eh?
let
For
me
you,
just quickly
Odera,
step
for
in.
best
I go
practice,
talk
when
for
just
more.
come UK. Listen, Conservative Party has spent 1 million, let's just average it, 1.5 million in England alone and still counting. Odera,
No, I've not
Now
seen Sean's
wait.
comments. Where is Sean's
Uh,
comment that you're reading?
eh?
uh, Odera, let me just quickly say something. I want to come out.
Yes, I
What
want
I
to
want
bring up somebody else.
what I want to say is this. Just listen to what I want to say. Like I've said before, and Kid Auspicious said it, and I was driving. I was supposed to clap for him as he talk am. Now, when we are looking at Nigeria as a country and the electoral system we run and the behavior of both politicians and the electorates, it is more expensive to run an election in Nigeria than any developed country I can think about. The reason is this. Check the earning of these developed countries. The lowest people that are working, check their earning. Then check the earning of Nigerians, the lowest people in Nigeria, check our earning. Then check the earning of the highest people in those countries, check the earning of the highest people in our country. Check the earning of the middle in those countries and the middle in our country. You see that the percentage of amount of money that is used to run an election, if you compare the percentage, it could just be like times 3, times 4, or times 5 of what they will spend in America. Comparatively, we are not looking at the amount they spend, we are looking at the percentage in terms of the economy and the life of the common man. That is why 5 million naira, of course, I don't even know any position that they will buy the phone with 5 million. If you look at governorship, there was one that they talked about 50 million to purchase a governorship form. Now come to Nigeria and ask how many people can earn 50 million naira in a year. Then when you now check the amount with which you can buy a form in Democratic Party in America, you will not check the number of people that will earn that amount. Is it going to be that somebody who wants to run for governorship of Texas, for example, the money he is going to spend
Wait, kid
buying
auspicious,
the
1 minute,
form,
please. Don't leave. I want to
the,
make a point with your reference. You're American. I need you. One
the
second, please.
money he is going to spend buying the form for the election, compare it to his 1 year salary as a medical doctor, for example. Then now bring a medical doctor in Nigeria who wants to run for governorship, where the form alone is 50 million, and that medical doctor's salary for the next 20 years is not 50 million. 20 years. So you need your whole career to buy a form to become governor. But who wants to be the governor of Texas does not need his entire career.
Sorry.
It may not even be up to his 1 year salary to get the form. So when you do comparative analysis, you discover that in Nigeria, You will spend money, you will run mad. Because in these developed countries, somebody wants to vote in Texas, the person is not saying, how much are you giving me? Do you understand? It's not saying what is there for me to
How
eat.
many
Okay.
people volunteer in
God
Nigeria? How
bless
many
you.
people
Please,
volunteer abroad?
before Kid Auspicious go, let me just make a point. Kid Auspicious is American. I don't like to talk without reference. I like
Canadian, go
reference.
ahead.
Sorry, Canadian, but his cousins, they are both. Kid, you are politically inclined, not declined. So I'll ask you this question. This last election America held in 2020, it cost, I think, the statistics said it cost, I think, around 14 to 15 billion dollars. Check it yourself, Peter, please. Google is your best friend. We will know. So check. I may be wrong, maybe 14 or 15, but I know it's one of those two. So when I say
That's the
election,
But put
yes.
into context what Peter said
Oh,
anyway.
God, stop putting
exactly.
anything into context. I'm
No,
not
put
putting
it in
anything into context.
context.
I'm telling you that. I'm telling
He
you
just
that.
told you that a doctor, the highest paid
Oh,
profession,
God.
Just
cannot
get
end
in the
that.
Oh, God.
context.
So
Cannot even buy a
so do
phone.
you think the highest paid doctor in America can earn 14 billion?
I'm not telling Baba, you know they listen to understand. Master
Jesus
does
Christ.
not listen to
You're
understand. That's the
understanding, eh?
problem.
Oga,
But,
I
but
listen to
Master,
understand, but
you
you
don't
guys
listen
make
to
lousy
understand because
excuses.
I just
Lousy
gave you
excuses. We
I
are
just
talking
gave
about
you
listen,
a,
sir, sir, sir. We are
a
talking
very
about
balanced
election.
explanation. You know the
Election.
scatter.
Oga, we are talking about election. You are giving me sub part. Me, I'm generalizing
I'm
it.
talking about the
I
election
don't have the
also.
sub. You can do all those
No,
sub
Baba,
because
we are
people
talking
sub
election.
to suit
Donald
I'm
them.
talking
Trump,
election.
listen. Donald Trump, election in America alone cost 5.2 billion. Donald Trump campaign spent $362.5 million,
Sorry, where
right?
did you see that news?
It's just AI giving it to me on Google.
AI.
But
I
let
don't blame you.
me now check. Let me check UK and I will check Nigeria.
Master
Just bear with
phone,
me.
they will
Peter,
check.
continue.
So what
Okay,
I was saying,
me, I'll even check now.
I just compared a medical doctor in Texas who has an ambition to become governor and a medical doctor in Benin City that wants to be governor of Edo State.
Okay,
I just
I asked
compared
the same
for you
question. All I
now.
did was change UK. They said UK parliamentary election, the spending limit is 8,700. 8,700. Imagine.
Did you
So
see what I
what I'm
said?
telling you that the
I
UK
said, wait.
system
I said the
is extremely cheap.
You
wait,
don't even
Extremely cheap.
understand what you are
wait, your
reading.
God, don't stop
You don't
talking.
even
I said
understand
the limit is
anything.
for you as a person.
That's from
That's
your
what I said
personal
before.
pockets. Now
It's
your
for your personal
sponsors
pocket.
and
Okay, calm
donors.
down. That's personal.
Bro,
That's what I said before.
this guy doesn't understand anything. You are just
Okay,
Personal
Master,
reading
pocket. I
what
Google.
is
said
the
Reading
limit?
personal
Google.
What
pocket.
is
Okay,
the
let me
limit?
quote what Google say.
Wait,
Google
wait,
No,
said
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
UK
no. Look
Master.
at
election.
it. Look at it. Look at it. 180,000 pounds is where they cap it
See,
for the whole
Oga, this from our
election.
even God bless you. This from BBC UK official website. Oga,
Remember,
this is
America
from
own.
this is
Remember,
from
America own a
BBC.
billion. Hold
Peter,
on, I will
listen.
tell
I
you.
mean,
Hold
other
on, I will
listen.
take
This from
Nigeria
our
own.
own website, BBC UK. Now they said it. The US election in 2020 cost a record $14 billion. See, I said 14 or 15. Now they have confirmed the $14 billion. BBC reality checks who paid for this and how it was spent.
So is that a
Say that
state
again.
election or national?
Sorry,
National
Is that state or
no, Peter, hold
national?
on.
election.
What did you say? Read that again.
That the US election cost
I
a
know you have
record
already said
14.
US. Check UK. Check UK. Which is why I was proposing the UK system, which is paper based. Check UK own. Parliamentary system are the cheapest election in the world. Why
Let
don't?
me check.
Why
Let me
do
check. Let me
you
check
think
for
I'm? Do
you.
you think I'm dumb? Let
Wait
me
now.
check
Let
Nigeria
me check.
own.
Let
Let
me
Hold
me
on,
check.
I'm coming.
let me suggest
Pa-
something. I'm going.
Parliamentary is
I'm
cheap to run.
let, let, let me, Peter. If you remember, I said.
Please,
Let
please,
me
guys.
talk there.
I
Let me
want you guys
land.
to know that
I'll
I
leave this
am
place
somebody
now.
that like to speak truth. Listen, look at what Nigeria own cost. $2 billion. 2 billion estimated from 2 billion to $625 million. I don't even understand how they go go from
But
2
you
billion
see,
to.
Peter was saying Nigeria will cost 3 times America. I mean, Nigeria costs $2
See,
billion.
Master,
America
Hold
costs
on
see,
now, hold
14
on now.
billion.
That is
Master,
Let
six
that's
everybody
why
have
I
their
said
billion.
you don't
respect
need
6
him
now.
to
billion
understand.
naira, approximately $16 billion. But how much did UK alone? That's INEC. How much did INEC was giving? Forget about just INEC own. You know the year.
Other I want ask master a question. Other I want ask master a question.
I don't prove them now.
One
Nigeria
question.
is more expensive than America.
We see, master.
So
I want
you're
ask
telling me Nigeria costs more than
That
wait.
one is
You're
fallacy
telling
now.
me Nigeria
You
costs
see,
more than
Master,
that's
14
fallacy.
billion.
That's
Let me show
fallacy.
you. Let me show you.
That's
Look
fallacy.
at. Look at.
That is fallacy now. You see, in a year there, it's
Can
saying
you
it's more expensive than
hear
America.
Odera?
Don't say
Odera, you are
wait,
high
You
on
master.
paracetamol.
read them yourself. I don't
Master.
want read.
See, Peter, please, that cure you were making noise you had, give Odera the cure too.
Master, I want ask you one question.
Give
I want
Odera,
ask you one
okay,
question.
give Odera a cure, then ask me, please.
No, master, I ask you this question quickly. A bricklayer
Mm-hmm.
save 1 million in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
In Peking friend can't thief 800,000. Inside that money will save 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then another person Peking, another man, businessman, save 30 million in 1 year. In Peking thief 10 million. In terms of percentage between the bricklayer and the businessman, who lost more money?
In terms of percentage,
Yes.
the bricklayer now.
Very good. So in terms of percentage, which I just explained when I said Nigeria, look at our economy, look at everything, and look at the money we spend in an election. Look at America, look at the economy and everything. Look at what they spend in election. By the time you check by percentage, Nigeria is far more expensive than America. But you now, they listen to argue, you begin to argue with me.
Even without percentage, even without
he
comparative
has the
analysis,
percentage. He has the percentage.
America
Odera,
is 14
he has
billion
the
dollars.
percentage.
Nigeria
Odera, he has
is
the
Sorry,
percentage.
16
Kid
billion
Hospital,
dollars.
Yes,
Kid
$2
Hospital,
billion
Kid
he
dollars
Hospital,
has
can
the
I ask
extra.
you a question?
percentage, Oga.
Can I ask you a question the same way Peter asked me a question? Kid
Go
Hospitals,
ahead.
can I ask you a question the same way Peter asked me a question?
Please do, please do.
Please, when we started this argument and based in election prices, did we narrow it down on percentage or were we speaking generally on the cost?
Generally on the cost
It's
by
not you
the
I'm asking, it's
country.
not you I'm asking, it's not you,
When
please.
you
It's Kid Hospital.
when you asked, it was generally on the costs. But when I was answering, wait to me, I know what I say. I can be responsible for what I say. When I was answering, Peter, and I know you can remember. When I was answering, I narrowed it down to resources. And
You're breaking,
number
Kid, you're
system.
breaking.
Wait, I'm a number system. So pick the costs. And Odera, you are wrong. If you compared face value, if you compare face value, you were wrong. What you can do, pick the pick the who is that person? Mute yourself. If you're not speaking. So my own is, if you're not talking, mute yourself. So my own is pick the costs of campaign or election, the one anyone you want to pick in Nigeria, divide it by our GDP. Pick the costs
Kid,
of the
teach him.
US, divide it by their own GDP.
Lecture this your
Tell me
boy.
what
Kid,
is the
lecture
difference.
him.
It's teaching Olodo.
Yeah, Jesus. Kid, who are you teaching? Kid,
Bro, no, don't
Peter, please.
worry. It's immaterial. Let's just say that's what we are doing here.
It's a lie, it's a lie. Peter,
Kid,
Kid,
mention the
no,
name,
you
not
must
him. We
mention
are
because
doing
it's
him.
other that asks now. Kid, you must mention the name. Who
Kid,
are you
mention the
teaching?
name. Who are you teaching?
Kid, talk now.
This kid is diplomatic. Baba, master, he no one shame you.
No,
I was
see,
showing you
Peter, be
AI.
honest.
Una
You heard
wan
it
Kid,
from
put
the
I
una
was
wan
beginning.
put
showing
kid
you
for
AI.
top.
All I was
Kid,
changing,
wait,
what I was changing is
Peter, be
Nigeria,
honest. You
UK,
heard Kid,
US.
it was Peter,
Wait
it was
now.
other he's
Generally,
been
the
teaching.
more spending.
Wait now.
Nigeria is more
See,
expensive.
una wan put kid
Peter,
for
be
una wan
honest.
put kid for
Is it not
center.
other Kid said at
And
first? Be honest
see,
now.
see now, kids not dey like better they put am for center. Una don't put am for center, so do you understand? Kid was talking about putting straight the issue on ground. That when Odera asked you, do you think Nigeria's election is expensive? You said no. You have your reason for saying no. All right. Then Kid now said that if you are looking at Nigeria by our GDP comparing with other countries, it's expensive in Nigeria. But when we now cross to other countries, we are now comparing the price, neglecting the value of the money. We are just looking at the price. Nigeria is cheap if we are going by the price.
So in other words,
And
he's trying to
ignoring it.
So in other words, he was trying to educate the person that said Nigeria is more expensive than America.
No, what
Yes.
kid is
Yes,
saying to
Peter,
you is
Basically.
the
Peter,
value.
keep quiet, other and listen,
Is
please, and listen.
Peter,
So in order,
hold
please,
on.
Peter,
Peter,
listen,
hold on. Peter, hold on.
wait.
Master,
No, you hold on.
master,
Let me just ask
master,
Peter one
master,
question.
hold on.
Okay, I just
Master,
want to
hold
ask
on.
Peter one question, and you can take the mic. So in other words, Peter, Kid was educating the person that said Nigeria's election is by far more expensive than American election. Yes or no, please?
Yes, when you're saying it by face
Yes.
value. Yes.
That's all we are talking. God bless you. Face
No,
value. God bless you.
Peter was also saying the same thing. He was saying by comparative. Then I said no.
You'll be
Even
forced to
without
learn.
doing comparative,
Odera, why
listen
don't
to
you
me, master,
learn?
master. Listen. We know we have audience. People are watching us.
Why don't
Listen,
you learn?
listen. When Peter was telling you comparative, I said to Peter, Peter, remove the comparative. Even if you go value for value, that my AI here, which I did with everybody watching, pegged Nigeria. All I was doing was changing Nigeria to UK and US. Pegged Nigeria at $16 billion without even comparing the value and the size of the countries. We're not even doing comparative analysis. I'm only going for value of how much is spent. America's pegged at 14 billion. UK pegged at 180,000. Nigeria is $16 billion. And the question was, by electioneering process, who is more expensive? And I said to you that Nigeria is the most expensive. Now, let me even bust your bubble. Our president is the most paid in the world. Our legislatures are the most expensive or the most expensive or the
No
most
one is
paid in the
arguing
world.
to that one.
So when you really want to look at what Peter analyzed and said to you, even your most paid workforce, even the what do you call it, the Supreme Court judge that is paid 5 million a month cannot even buy the form that you have to combine many years of work, not to talk of a lecturer that wants to go and vie for office. So if somebody tells you that something is more expensive and you are saying affordability is to me, Baba, to the whole country that is the poverty capital of the world, nobody can run for the election unless you are a criminal. And that is why I pegged what somebody said there, that governors still to sponsor. See, I've said it before in my life that Wike is holding PDP on the boss because he has given PDP so much money and they are owing him. The day they get that money and pay Wike will go. In fact, they will throw Wike out. He took Atiku to go to Delta State and use Okowa's influence or money to be able to run the last election. So listen to learn. I am highly cerebral. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet. I analyze things for a living. That's my
See, did you
job.
see that
I'm an analyst.
statement Sean said? Do you want to help me pin it?
Which one?
I
Our
want to
president is
see
not the
this.
most paid in the
No,
world.
the one before
Okay.
that. I want to see this. That one, help me read pin it.
I want to see the thesis wrote to get this master's degree. In fact, I want to write a petition to university.
Sean,
First
I
of all,
co-signed
Sean,
that petition.
wait, let me reply to Sean. Sean, first off, in the UK, if you do a master's, it takes a senate to mark. It's not, if your lecturer finish marking, it will take a senate. So there was this lecturer that marked me down. I kept quiet. The Senate sat and reverted what the guy did. So in the UK, you know also we don't do bribery here. It's not like Nigeria, you pay for somebody to pass you. And I got my degree while working full time. I did my master's full time. I didn't do part time. So when it comes to this, at least by the way I'm talking, people are making the deduction. It's not by me forcing people to believe that I'm smart. When you listen to people, you value from what they say. So, master, please, I don't like you arguing everything for arguing sake. When we say Nigeria electioneering process is expensive, Baba, it is extremely expensive. The UK cap their own. They cap it. Nigeria is supposed to go and cap it. Let's cap it that if you want to run for presidential election, the most you can spend is 5 million. Cap it.
But don't you
Cap it
understand?
that if you
And
are
Odera, that cap you are talking about, you need to understand this cap. All it says is the most you can spend from your personal pocket.
that's what I'm
So
saying
now
now.
listen,
Cap it.
listen. If Nigeria decides to cap it, what's to stop them from saying, okay, oh, this business, you understand, is donating 20 million. Oh,
Yes.
Peter is donating 50 million from his business.
Yes.
It will still turn out to me still amassing the money I need from even the only difference is that it will just make it a bit longer. Before I could say, oh, this is my money, I'll vote. But now I'll have to say, oh, Peter here sent me 50 million. Best Practice sent me 20 million. Kid Auspicious sent me 100 million. Just be doing parties. Meanwhile, I know what I'm doing. So, in other words, this cap you are talking about, you need to understand the cap. It's just from your personal pocket. It doesn't mean anything per se. Because in America, they've capped it, but the National Rifle Association can just donate 50 million pack to Donald Trump and say they call it super pack.
Master, you know
Super
the
pack.
funny thing?
Have you not heard of
The
super
funny
pack?
thing?
Hey,
You
okay,
know,
man.
the funny thing? Nigeria's own is they even cap it.
That's
Just
what
that
I'm saying.
I've forgotten the amount.
Oh, so they
But
even
the
cap it in
capping,
Nigeria. You see,
yeah,
Peter, did you hear?
the capping
Oga,
scheme
I
has
know.
not worked.
Oga Masters, are you hearing? Oga Masters.
They cap it, but the
Sorry,
capping
go
still
ahead.
does
Oga
not work.
Masters, are you hearing? In Nigeria, they even cap it.
They
So,
cap it,
as I said
yes.
earlier on when I was talking, it's not
Sorry,
about.
what did you say they cap?
The money you can spend for an
Nigeria has
election.
cap on all levels too. Check candidates are cap.
Yes.
So okay,
You
if
see,
Nigerians are cap,
they cap it.
so okay, hold on. Now. You see, I learn. I don't say things I don't know. So I've learned from my learned colleague, my comrade, Mr. Common Sense, very, very cerebral. He says they cap it. Now I'm asking, what of, you made a point actually, the 20 million can come from businesses, which is how technically elections are run.
That's what I'm telling you.
Exactly. Now, what the UK did was to even go further. They
Oga,
also
stop comparing Nigeria to the UK.
oh,
Give it a break. See,
now,
Peter,
you don't
this
see this
person
one,
that
this
gave
one
you
you're
visa
making
to the
you.
UK. See, best practice. I will
Oh,
phone
yeah,
immigration. This person that gave you visa.
from Zimbabwe. Oh, yeah, go and learn from Afghanistan. Who do you want to learn from?
Oga, don't learn from UK. UK doesn't run the same for government as Nigeria. If you want to even compare with a Western
Provide
place,
you? Who
compare
provide
to
you?
America.
Who
America's
provide you?
democracy is equivalent to Nigeria. UK's democracy is not.
Okay,
Use brain, use brain.
okay. I cannot compare to America.
Then you
No,
can't compare
because
to UK.
America is too expensive.
UK
America is spending
doesn't run
14
like
billion. Do you have
see
14 billion? What
Jesus.
is your minimum
Peter,
wage?
No,
Peter. Wait,
I agree with Master on
Wait,
this.
no, Peter. This guy called you Mr.
Okay,
Common Sense. Now
hold
let
on.
me
Let me
test your
pin this
common
thing. Let me
sense.
pin this
No,
thing by
please,
black
let me ask
black
Peter a
mentor.
question. Let
I
me ask
gave
Peter a
one
question.
candidate. Hold on, master, hold on. Look at read the comment. I
Peter.
gave one Baba, hold on now. I gave one candidate. These are people you call sponsors of election. This is not Naira. Oh. I gave one candidate $50,000 in Nigeria. The party members shop the money.
Guess what?
Just street.
You know,
Guess what?
Just street.
I
He
agree.
gave it to the
See,
candidate. Even if they chop the money, his money
uh,
went to the party.
Why is the UK not the
wait,
best? Why is the UK not the best?
If
Okay,
no,
let's
no,
run
no.
parliamentary
in
then.
the UK, they
Let's
will
run
still chop
parliamentary.
it.
Wait. I agree with Master on a point. In the UK, the system of government practiced is a cheap one to run based on the
Mm-hmm.
system parliamentary. Then
Mm-hmm.
we have democracy in Nigeria, it's not parliamentary. So it will be uneven to compare Nigeria's electoral process to that of the
But
God
do you
UK.
know
bless
But
you.
we
why I
can
said
compare
that
Peter,
democracy is
nominally.
listen,
expensive?
Odera, listen, don't talk. Listen to your Mr. Common Sense.
So,
Mr. Common
so
Sense, please enlighten him.
No, Mr.
Mr.
Common
Common
Sense is
Sense,
different
my
from
friend,
Peter.
though.
Mr. Common
Mr.
Sense is
Common Sense.
somebody else.
Oh, sorry, Peter, you enlighten him. Shall you enlighten him? Give him enlightenment.
So the point is that because it's parliamentary and presidential, you cannot compare them. Since America practices presidential system, then we can now, in terms of comparison, compare America to Nigeria. But however, they cap the money that you can spend in Nigeria. Just that Nigeria, they spend the money not digitally. So there are other ways to spend without recording. Because first of all, you can't even record, say you take 10 billion, take bribe people for field. You can't record that. You understand? So it is capped. But our system has this self-destruct nature. That's just the truth.
That's what I
They
said
have
in
a
the
nature of
beginning. See,
self-destruct.
Peter, is that not what I said in the beginning? That Nigeria has a system for everything, but it's it is the people, is the manipulation
Yes,
of the
they
system that
manipulate it.
makes everything bad. Everything is in place in Nigeria. It's just Nigerians manipulate the systems. That's
They
my
Okay, so
first
manipulate it.
thing I said
so
at the
guys, let me come in.
beginning.
Let me come
Coming,
in.
coming,
So
coming.
Odora, I get your point, and also context matters. So I think what Odora is trying to stress is that I think his emphasis is not actually in the form of government really. What he's just trying to say is that at least if we can learn anything, let's learn the culture of them being conservative and making sure that things are done the right way. Now, if it's in terms of the form of government, then UK is not. Because UK, and I've said this many times, that if there's anything, I don't know why Nigeria is modeling our democracy after America. You are having bicameralism, you are having reps, and you are having Senate. Does that even make sense? First and foremost, one thing that you easily one advantage that you easily see from a parliamentary is that parliamentary is unicameralism. Like you have just the House of Commons. You don't have two houses and you are paying two sets of lawmakers. Number two is from the people that have been is from the from the MPs that you also pick your cabinet
Mhm,
ministers. So you are not paying them separate money. Whereas in the presidential system, you have the house separate. The president will now come again and begin to appoint ministers that will be paid different money. Whereas in the parliamentary, is the people from amongst the lawmakers that you also
mhm,
pick your cabinet ministers. You are not paying them separate money. It's the
mhm.
same
Their
money you are
ministers
paying.
is their
Their
job.
minister is from the young people that you are paying. So it helps you to save cost a great deal because you're not paying people for making laws and you're paying them different money for executing projects. It's the same
Mhm.
people that are making laws that are executing projects. So it is very, very like ideally it should be a no-brainer for us to revert. If there's anything that we should be thinking about reverting back to, it should be that one, not national anthem. But then again, you are telling people to use their own hand to sack themselves if you are asking them to do that. Because if you are asking people to go back to the cameral system of government, you're asking them to use their own
It
hand
is still in
to
the
sack
conversation, not
themselves.
going back
Thank
to the
you.
original movement. But hold on, please. There is something that Sean did. Sean told me that he got his master's from University of Wolverhampton. So I just start two simple searches. University of Wolverhampton rank in the UK, number 83. Now I went to University of Reading, just for comparison sakes. Reading is ranked 35 by complete
Yeah, I
and
went to
44 by
Plymouth. Check
Guardian.
my own. I went to Plymouth. Where am I? Check, please.
Thank you. No, it's because
No, I went
people
to
like to
Plymouth.
rubbish
Check my
others.
own.
Eh? People like to rubbish others to make a point. Baba, my own school
Pass in
is
school.
ranked way higher. Your own is 83.
Yeah,
My own,
you went to
the
kindergarten,
worst
Sean.
ranking of University of Reading at 34. Baba, mind yourself.
Take
Oh.
your save up, oh.
See,
Who wants to
get
talk
what
live?
I want come on, get what kid auspicious talk. I need to go enroll for kid auspicious master's class. I need to go enroll.
See?
Is that how you want to solve Nigeria problem? Why they not go think of national anthem? When if they want really solve the problem, reduce the cost of governance, who they solve the problem so go solve himself, come up for government.
Yes, now.
Because, because I don't really see what the House of Reps they do after we don't get Senate. Because now only
Um,
Senate will be here last time.
Peter, I think that they are driving to somewhere. I think, and don't quote me wrong, I'm saying I'm thinking that probably what they did was to come with anthem first, and then the next thing they want to revert to Master
Baba, no
Family, you know where
forget.
I'm going.
They cannot sack themselves. Yeah, because any move to go to take Nigeria to the next level, they
It's
will sack
against themselves.
themselves.
Yes, it's against
They might,
themselves.
they might, they might do it.
Unless they are mad.
I saw a post that is already in the
Now,
floor that they are
now
discussing
only mad,
regional. So
now only mad
Oh,
Nigerians. Now you go do that one for Senate.
Odera, stop all this thing you keep talking. You see, the way
I'm not
Nigeria system is.
saying that I'm sure. I'm only saying
Listen. They can never go back to regional. They can
That's the
never
truth.
go back. Because why? All this bad blood we keep talking about is all came from regional governance. Let's call a spade a spade. All this happened under regional governments. So let's not go and revive a very dirty history that this time it will be called a genocide. Before it was play. Now it will be called a complete wipeout. Be careful what you wish for. Be very careful what you wish for.
well.
Nigeria,
I believe it depends on how you run it. If you do regional, give some powers to the regions and still maintain. Say,
Oga,
for example, okay, let me put
regional
it this
can
way.
never
Let me put
work
it
in
this way. Let me
Nigeria.
put
You
it this
don't
way. Look
listen.
at the
You
way
are
the
not
UK. Look at
listening.
the way the UK. And again,
Regional
I'm going to
can
use
never
UK.
work in
Hold
Nigeria.
on. Master, hold on. We are sharing ideas. We are bouncing off ideas. Hold on. I'm saying, because a lot of people have said this thing. You know, Nigeria will have decent voices when it comes to advice and opinions. Someone like Pat Autonomy have said this, that we can try back the regional government, because at that time, every region was trying to compete healthily in terms of what they are producing. Now, when we have a federal system, everybody wants to just go and collect money for oil. Now, you can say the police and the army and the navy, everything still goes to the federal, right? And then say things like education, things like resource control or production or whatever. That's how the UK does it. So some things are still to the Queen itself. That's why you have Royal Navy, Royal Air Force, Royal this one, everything military, everything police still goes to this to the monarch system. So for me, it depends on the model. What Obasanjo is saying is that we need to craft a unique system for Nigeria because of the complexity of Nigeria. It shouldn't be a totally an American system or totally a UK system. But what we can do is to devise something that sort of solve some kind of problems, but allow us to still remain as one administration or country, if that makes sense. So we can keep, for example, the local governments and then do away with the governors and put it to one person and say he's part of the region. At the same time, report that you will have parliamenters or parliamentary system whereby some of those local governments will produce somebody to. I'm only giving a suggestion. I'm not saying is the solution, but what I'm saying is we have to try something, because what we have, if you want to say the hybrid system, we need to have something that will work, that
Oga,
is unique to Nigeria.
on this point, I can agree with you small. We need to try something. Yes, we need to try something new, something creative, something progressive, not regional. Regional is not progressive. Right now, with all the rubbish going on with Nigeria, you now want to add regional government. You people are not well. Oh.
No,
People
it's the
don't
opposite to what you are
understand
saying.
you don't
It
even
is
understand
actually
that
the opposite. It's
tomorrow,
meant.
listen
Read,
to me,
read,
sir.
read what
No,
common
no, don't
sense said.
interrupt. So sorry, when you were talking, I didn't interrupt. Sir, if you make regional governments now with the kettle of cake that Nigerians actually hate each other publicly. Before, the hate was hidden. Now the hate is public. Oh God, what will happen in Nigeria? It will be total anarchy. And I will sponsor that anarchy if I can. Because you people are not serious. You people are not serious.
master,
Master,
before you
hold on.
sponsor the anarchy, wait now, master, before you sponsor the anarchy, shock people like us. We are available for electric shock, financial electric shock, may not go turn out to real electric shock.
No,
The thing is that Master has
we'll
given
shock you
up on
after this live.
Nigeria.
We'll shock you, don't worry.
But what I keep telling people is, what worked in Nigeria before? What worked? Regional government worked. How be it under a military rule? But if we have a regional government under a civilian rule, whereby the powers of the military and police are still on the central,
Be-
are still with the federal government.
Before I come out, I will agree with master on this. The way Nigeria is, let's just say the truth. Regional regional whatever cannot work again as it is. We should think of something progressive, something fresh, something new.
That's what
But
I'm
say to go
saying.
back to that regional, who will sign it in the first place? Who is going to pass it? But it has to pass through this same house. It cannot stand because of the people we see there. Then
No,
if
even me, I agree, because already people are fighting for 5 governors or 6 governors. You now bring all of them. How will you even do the North? 18 governors, or
exactly,
combine all of them to one governor? There will be a lot of problem in war. But what it will do is that people will become less tribalistic. People will now face that their leader. But
in different regions,
but in
in
that
different
different
regions,
regions,
the
but there will be a lot of
tribalism will
internal
hyper. It will
issues.
increase. Oh, it will
Okay,
increase. Let me tell you
people
why.
will now be tribalistic with confidence.
Yes, once it is regions, people can just come out and say, "Hey, this man, leave this area. We don't want to hear you talk. Go to your region, go your area." It will even increase the tribalism. That's just the truth.
As in,
As Nigeria does spoil rich,
Okay,
Peter, please,
tribalism will
please,
take.
don't ever pander for regionalization. I'm begging
now,
you.
Master, hold on, Master. You see, everybody have different opinions and different ideas. Mr. Common Sense have said his own. I've mentioned people like Autonomy. I've mentioned people like Obasanjo saying democracy does not work. Some people buy into the regional this thing, some people don't. Just like the national anthem. Some people will buy in, some people doesn't buy in. Do you understand? Some people will say, why did you then move into the old national anthem? Some people will say, the national anthem, the lyrics is good. Everybody will always have dissenting opinions. But at the end of the day, Common Sense wants to come live. Good, let's have a brilliant mind. I've been trying to
Ronnie,
accept Sean.
I greet
Sean,
you,
you used to
Ron.
have another account. Come with the other account.
No, that
People are
that
scared
account
of
has been
regional
frozen.
governments, of lack of productivity. Hi, my brother.
Eh,
Thanks
good
for
evening.
coming.
What are the discuss with big pass me fear not let me come. This one near me, that's why I come. So
No, we are not supposed to catch you. We're in UK. You don't leave that place, don't worry. Now I know be that time when they hide for bush, they do video. Now you don't UK, do it with your full chest.
you know, since I see near bush for
You
there.
see near bush.
First off, let me appreciate the conversation here. It's been really productive. And for me, anything that will make us move forward, I bet make with the drum. On this regional thing, me, if Renan Mokri saying that Buhari tomato that year, if somebody they will not like Tinubu, I'll be number one. I don't like him and I cannot hide it. But however, I know that this thing, if you not work, but the preposition of it, the fact said this thing is being suggested, means that these people already knows that this continuous agenda not the work. It means that they recognize that we are headed for destruction. This thing hasn't worked and it's only going to work. So if they bother about what can they do to get this country working, it means that our voices are being heard. That is the first point.
I said it. I said I give him the body language than
yes,
it's better than Buhari.
yes.
Yeah.
Firstly, however, what Master has suggested that I go with is the fact that in totality, if we understand what regional government is in totality, then we may not be able to achieve it. But guess what? There is always a Nigerian version of every ideology. The federalism we they practice for, not be now adulterated one, Abi. Now adulterated one. So, however, maybe they want to adulterate the regionalization in a way that, because I know they go do very convenient for governors to say governors now we not get governors again. For example, there'll be a regional administrator. I think what they want to do, there is already an idea for, I think then a bill for development commission of the 4 other regions in Nigeria that's yet to get their own development commission. Not say Nigeria that gets for South, right? Or okay, maybe not just South, but oil producing areas. Then there is one in the Northeast. So as I talk to you, there is already proposed one for Southeast, for Southwest, for North Central, and all that. So that
But Bongoli came here, sorry for bringing me in, and said he does not agree to any of that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Any idea that comes up, you will hear dissenting voices.
Yes. So, however, again, moving forward now, the man they talk about local government autonomy, and he trying to make it look as if make local government get their own rights to their own administration and control of resources. This regional government, why I like him, I don't like Tinubu, I say it. Why like can be say the blame game for this country done too much.
We go down, yes.
The dependency done too much. Somehow, if it is going to be achieved, if there's a way that we can marry it with common sense, such a way that these regions go get access to their resources, have managerial control of it, and maybe put up a percentage of central government. So the dependency on presidency, do you know that after sitting down to look at certain things, even if Peter Obi become president, the crisis where this country for emanates in the last 1 year, this man may have also been overwhelmed, except to get the balls to take chest time and say no to hell. So dependency on central government presidency go they reduce gradually. So we not say we get our own country. So Ludo says
Yeah, but if they run the democracy as it is actually correctly,
yeah,
there will be less. There would still be less dependency.
God bless you.
If they
When
run this democracy correctly, as I said, the structure, everything is there. It's just the people in it. It's not the structure that is the problem. It's the people.
Yeah.
Now let's be realistic.
Master, no,
If they
Master,
change,
give me a minute. Master, give me 1 minute. Let me just just 1 minute. I'll be done. In 1 minute, 30 seconds. When Alex Oti commissioned the geometric power plant, Soludo said something. He said, this is good. But if you do not have control over diesel management, for example, on how to diesel supply or oil supply, when you go run the geometric power plant, it's still like you beat around the bush. Because the other day, you just created a power plant that you do not have the powers to decide how to power it, so to speak. So I think say maybe somehow the government is trying to seek a ways of how they can balance some of these things, make some of these regions get access to their own resources, use them to their own way, so to speak. Whereas the central government will just do policies and framework somehow. Maybe my thought. So if in that regard, not a bad idea.
Which is what somebody said, hybrid system, right? Now, Master, let me also say something. Master, please, Master. So you see, everything is about how we coin it. We know we have one of the biggest, one of our biggest issues, unity and blame game.
Pause.
Master, hold on.
Please pause. Now, la. I'm not going to joke now. I'm going to tell you facts now, And you see right now, if anybody doesn't like what I say and they type my name with any rubbish, I will block you. I don't usually block, but now I'm going to give you raw, serious facts. And if anybody disagree with me, after this live order, I will call you and I will give you evidence. Now, let's stop joking. I own charities in Nigeria. I have different charities in Nigeria. I have a charity specially in the East, just as an experiment. Now, there are loads of people I pay their school fees for. I'm not bragging here just to feel good. There are loads of people. I actually associate with my fellow Nigerians. I'm not like you people that will go to travel and start just be making me. I actually help now. Every year, I can send you after this live, Peter. You can see it yourself. So I associate with people. Oga, do you know there's some part of Nigeria, I won't mention any part, that in school it is mandatory not to sing the national anthem. They say we are not Nigerians. This is in school. This is what you are teaching the children. Then tomorrow, you people want to vote for regional government. It's like you people just want to fight and die. Just tell us your mind so we will know where you stand. How can you be your school say it's mandatory, it's not good to sing, it's against the school policy for students to sing national anthem? I have people that said, if you think I'm lying, after this live, order, I will phone you and phone 2 of my people that I support in Nigeria. They will give you this
Master, you've made your point understood, and nobody insulted you. Now, what I want you to understand as well is, this is the word that I have in my mouth, and you took it out of my mouth. One of the biggest problem of Nigeria is unity. Now, what regional government will first of all do is that you don't blame no damn body. You blame your regional representative. Now, the other issue that it will bring is what you just alluded to. Will people now still be loyal to the central? Now, this is where I'm trying to, this is why somebody, if anyone was said, you've said the pros, what of the cons? Now, we have to weigh the cons. When we had regional government, it was under military rule. Otherwise, you could have worked. Some people that were alive then, the likes of Autonomy, said there was healthy competition. The East was bringing coal and whatever. The West, we are bringing whatever they had as their distance. The North, we are bringing the onion, the cocoa, and everything. So what we are trying to say is, look at the UK, for example. Thank God 3 of us are in the UK. The Wales have autonomy to a level. Scotland have autonomy to a level. Northern Ireland have an autonomy to a level, but the UK oversees the UK. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say is, you could say, for example, and this is giving people a sense of belonging, so they know nobody is deciding for you. You have your regional government. Blame them if there is any issue. The first thing you will see is that everybody, no tribalism will come up again. Now, and I think from that, people will now be more comfortable in their skin to sing the national anthem, to be part of Nigeria, to do everything in Nigeria. Now, you can also oppose with what your knowledge gives you, your informed knowledge you have. But what I'm trying to say is that because statu quo is the way statu quo is, could also be the reason why that is a possibility, if it's a
Hello?
possibility. Do you understand?
Hey, what's up,
Sean,
y'all?
I've been trying to, this your page is not working.
Okay.
Maybe you need to come back with another line.
Order, please keep quiet. Please, I'm just speaking to my friends. You are serving currently in Nigeria in Abia State. Yes or no, please?
Yes.
Eh? Yes or no, please?
Hello.
Hello, you are serving currently in Abia State. Yes or no, please? Hello. Can you hear me? You are serving currently in Abia State. Yes or no, please?
Yes, I am.
Okay, remember when I spoke to you about, and we were talking about national anthem, and you said, oh, the kids are not allowed to sing national anthem. What was the reason that they told you they are not allowed to sing it again, please?
Honestly, I don't even know the reason, but I just discovered constantly I've been going to school and they don't sing the national anthem. The only thing they do is just the normal school anthem, do their prayers, and then everybody go to their class.
Yeah, I know. I'm not denying that. I'm saying, remember we spoke about it, then I was like, why don't they speak about it? Then you said that they don't consider that. They said they don't consider themselves what, and they are what, please?
They are Biafrans, obviously. So
Wait, no, say it again. They don't consider themselves. No, please. I'm talking to my friends. I want you to say it yourself because people think sometimes when I talk, I'm mad. No, please stop laughing, please. Just say it. What do they say? They are not who they are who, please.
they are Biafrans now.
You see, they don't. And please, sorry, please. What state are you in? What state?
Abia State in Aba.
Yeah, sorry, Abia State. Where?
Aba currently.
Aba currently. Thank you. Sorry for just calling you. Sorry, I'll call you later. I just wanted to just confirm one or two things. I'll call you later. My
But
brother,
you cannot say that's false. He just confirmed it.
my
So,
brother,
Master,
I can phone
Master,
another.
I
See, I
did
have
not
4 people
argue.
in Abia State
No,
in different school
Master, hold
serving.
on.
I can phone all 4 of
I
them,
did not
and they
argue
will
that
tell you the
issue.
same thing
I will not agree with you.
categorically.
Hold on, Master, please. We listen to that conversation, and with deep respect for you, I'm seeing for the first time, and I appreciate your love for this country. But you see, that can be very insinuating, rather than fact. What she said now can be that she didn't say that somebody quoted, a teacher said, or a headmaster said that's the reason. She said, most likely, if she has said that she had moved on, hold on, just allow me. I am not again going to slide. I'm not Igbo, just so you know. So I am
Sorry, I
not
believe you.
apologetic.
No, sir.
I'm not.
I believe what you are saying. Now let me phone the second person. Now you hear the person confirm
No,
if
sir,
the
we don't need
teacher
all
said
this.
it.
We don't need all this. We don't
Relax,
need all this.
gentlemen. Relax. You need
Odera,
evidence.
Odera,
Odera is always making. I don't like
Odera.
submitting evidence.
These sentiments are very genuine. Your thoughts are very genuine. But should you allow this one thing stop every other thing that can can be better? What can we do to solving this problem? That should be the focus.
Oga, what we can do to solve this problem? Oga, what we can do to solve this problem? See,
all the advantages?
sir.
Does it?
What we can do to solve this problem is actually implement democracy properly. Don't ever bring up things like regional. Listen, if you
Who will
don't learn from
implement
the past,
citizens?
if we
Citizens
don't
go
learn
and now
from
we
the past,
implement it.
sir, if we don't learn from the past, we can never move forward. Now, we've practiced regional in Nigeria before, and we saw the horrors of it. Let us leave horror where horror should be. Now, let's
Okay,
progress.
hold on.
Let's look
Master,
for
please listen.
something new, something innovative. Let's use our
Please.
head to create something new that will help our current situation, not
Please.
going into the past.
Please, hold
Wait,
on.
no, please, Odera, let me land. Are we living in the past that you are saying let's go to regional?
Odera keeps me comparing Nigeria and UK system. I've told you, Odera, the UK has a parliamentary way of system. Nigeria doesn't have that way. So your comparison in first is null and void. It is only an uneducated baboon that will listen to that type of comparison. Compare Nigeria
Now,
with a
Master,
presidential system.
thank you. Master, listen to me. Because I've tried to prove to you both privately and publicly that I'm a very smart person, but maybe you keep misunderstanding me. Now, Nigeria does not practice American democracy in
At
toto.
all.
For
It's
example,
adulterated.
America has autonomy of states.
True.
America governor can decide to do whatever he cares.
Elect.
In fact, this thing you are
100%.
saying now
Yeah.
is allowed under American law that they can sing their own anthem.
True. You are right. Resource control, everything is under
So
the state has powers.
when people that are already presidents come out and tell you that democracy does not work, not just in Nigeria but in Africa, you need to listen. I don't like to be shouting, but Master has a way of getting under my skin. He's mastered it. He's the only guy that always makes me shout in the last 3 or 4 days. Please, I'm begging you, for example, listen to. I am from Igbo. You are from Delta. Mr. Common says he's from
No, I'm
Edo.
not from
We're
Delta.
having a
I'm not from
Nigerian
Delta. I'm not from
conversation.
Delta. Please.
Okay,
All these people always
sorry.
abuse me and
Where
call
are you
me a
from? How do you
useless
want to be
Yoruba boy.
identified?
So
How do you want to be identified? How do you want to be
can't you
identified?
see all these people in the comment section? They keep calling me Yoruba boy. So let me
No,
identify me as what they call me.
No, hold on. Please use your mouth. Tell me, how do you want to be identified?
Oga, I'm an African. I'm not a Nigerian. I'm an African.
Thank you. Yeah, Master, you're an African. Now, what I'm saying is, one of the raw issues we have in Nigeria, the pandemic. You see, Nigeria have more unpatriotic Nigerians than they have patriotic Nigerians. So, what I'm trying to say, the thing that will unify us, and this is the core reason. I'm not saying I agree, but this is the core reason why they brought that national anthem back. Because he said, though we might be different tongues and tribes, in brotherhood we stand. That is it. They are just looking for a way to unite us. Now, what people are suggesting, and this is not just my opinion or Mr. Common Sense opinion. 2 of us are political commentators. If you know Mr. Common Sense, you know he's a political commentator. So when we are analyzing these things, it's things, chain of thought or school of thought of others that we are trying to, it might work. The only problem why it failed in the past was military government. Now, under a civilian government, we are still, look at my proposition, still the federal that does not trust the state will maintain the power of the military and police. Just give these people, devolve this power a little to them, maybe education, maybe economics, maybe, do you understand? So that they will have a figurative head they can point to. Do you know so many countries still practice the monarch system? It's not just the British. Thailand is a monarchy. Morocco is a monarchy. UAE is a monarchy. But they have a ceremonial prime minister. And those are the people that you go and fight. You dare not fight the king. You dare not mention the king of UAE. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So what we're trying to say is give people something to toy with politically and still run the key, which is the security and the power, right? The existential or the territorial powers of Nigeria. And this is what they are trying. Because this one we are practicing now, we've practiced it and we've ended up nowhere. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to make a statement. Because you are saying try and all these things. And so why can't you in yourself say, why don't we actually practice democracy in its full entirety, not unadulterated?
You've answered that question as well before that
I'm
we are
not
up
answered.
for.
I'm not answered. Listen, because the reason why I say so, that would be a better argument to convince people. Because not being rude, certain things are not good. It still lives. Let's be honest. See, Mr. Common Sense, you know where I'm coming from. Certain things in Nigeria still leaves a bitter taste in our mouth. Words, certain words are trigger word. Like that word, that when you are trying to do, let's go for regional government, it leaves a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouth. Mr. Common Sense, let's be realistic. I understand that you people want to try something new, but you can, as I said, you can create. You see, try something new, is everything new is created. Every form of government was created, meaning someone had to try. This is my own push now, Instead of going back to things that we have suffered from, why don't we look for something new? Something more defined, something that targets us as Nigerians. Why do we have to go back to regional, or why do we even have to try politics or any type of politics? Why don't we come for something that will benefit us? Because let's be honest, all this form you are talking about, regional, blah, 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 even democracy, as you said, it has all failed us. Regional has failed us before. Let's not pretend like regional has made Nigeria great. Regional has failed us before. So why don't we practice something new? Something we create something. Why would we go back to something that left a bitter taste in our mouth?
Okay, Master, and this your point is thought-provoking, and I appreciate that. I think you have made it. But you see, in the practice of democracy itself, it allows people to decide how they want to be governed, right? It gives them the opportunity for them to say, this is what we want at the moment. And when you say practice democracy in full, that's what it's going to lead to. Except you are discussing the particular system of government, maybe federal, like the American or presidential. Federal system of government, for example, through federalism, for example, we allow the state to have some level of autonomy to deciding and doing a lot of things. Somebody is saying in your comment that the US or the states do not, the federal state control them. So we can leave that for conversations later. What I'm saying is that we can pick. There is actually no new thing, though, based on the fact that some of us have been in the world, in the information world, for example. There is no new thing. What people do is to go back in time, refurbish what they now call innovation, and yes, and they settle. So we can actually look back at the pros of that government. See, nobody here, I or Dera, did not submit to the presidency or the National Assembly about the need for us to move to regional government. It is them that would have tried all their best to thinking of solution. They now said, okay, maybe hold on a bit, maybe they can do this. What we now begin to demand for is that our voice, someone like you, Master, Other and the rest of us, will now have an input into whatever administration we are going to have, and now it should be bestowed on the people. We must have an input. If you stamp it on us, it will not work. But to say, okay, look at our preposition. How do we impute it in such a way that it will not make us go back in time, right? Or make us get better? Then that I stand for.
Now, this point, I agree with you. Totally agree with you. But you see what you said now is not regional, right? It's just it's an input.
Yes.
That's what I agree for. Let's start.
Don't mistake me. If they are suggesting reform of government, if they
good afternoon, our angels. Sweet voice, sweet.
And leaves us with the opportunity to have an input into it, I do not mind. So that the areas where you are scared now, like you have said, and I appreciate the fact that you want this country to continue in this marriage, and I appreciate that. That for me is laudable. So how do we have input into it to ensure that it is still Nigeria at all levels, in all fought at all corners? Not a problem.
Mr. Common Sense, let me fill you in before I let my sister come in. Master believe Nigeria can never work.
Oh.
You don't know that, Abi?
No.
So I want to fill you in.
No. Let me tell you, I believe.
Don't even think.
This is what I'm saying.
That this guy is nationalist.
This is what happened that Bongoli was warning yesterday. See, you started again.
People that know Master. I'm a gentleman. Please tell me. This is the first guy that will join my life. I said, no, you are talking about a useless place. Nigeria will never work.
To me, sir? Are you listening to me? Him. I believe the current Nigeria and the Nigeria for the next 50 years would not work. I'm very factual. I'm not emotional. I'm not sentimental.
There are so many people that say the same thing.
Sir.
So if something is not working, can we change
quiet now, Oga? Sir, please. The reason why I believe so is that I'm looking at Nigeria from its inception to date. What has improved? Is it not the same song they were singing then they are still singing now? Is it not the same hunger that was catching them then that is still catching them now? So what will change now and 50 years? Nothing. It's only a fool that will believe something will change. Me, I'm not a fool. My parents didn't raise me up as a fool. They told me the truth. This is the truth. This is wrong. This is good. This is bad. This is fact. This is not rubbish. Now, if you have hope that Nigeria tomorrow will work, That's your hope. I'm not going to deny it for you. I will support your hope. My friends believe so, and I will support them, I believe. But me personally, my own personal opinion is my personal opinion.
Okay,
and I agree with.
But master, if you have a chance to communicate in clear terms, don't tell me democracy in full force. In clear terms, if you have a chance to make Nigeria work, what would you do particularly?
Oga, I've always said it. I will. Can you remember? Let me. Some people might not like this, but let's travel down memory lane. There is one person I love in the whole Nigerian democratic system in my life, and he's on my DP. Do you remember his speech when he came to power? That is what I will do. The House of Assembly dissolved. The House of Senate dissolved.
a tyrant,
The
House of I will dissolve everything.
Oh God.
And I will say, that will be a real centralized power. I alone, not even I alone will hold power. So tomorrow, I alone will be responsible. So if Nigerians complain, I will now say, yes, it is my fault.
I just wanted you to know who you are talking
Please,
with.
let me tell you.
Because if you are informed, then you will know.
Oga, please listen. I will put people in place, and Oga, if they steal money, straight out by you. I'm not going to.
Yes, we are managing him. We are managing him.
I'm not going to take you to
Me,
court.
Peter, and all the rest, we are
Keep
managing
quiet.
him.
Let me tell this, my brother, about my philosophy a bit. Oga, see, if you are caught accused of stealing 5 billion that I gave you to progress of your community, Oga, you are not going to have a trial. God will punish you. Straight. Don't waste my court. I don't want to waste court's time. That is waste of funds. You have been found guilty by me. You are going to die.
How long? How can you?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you an honest question. You know Nigerians like life more than anything. Be honest, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, if I put 5 of you in position and 5 of you just steal one kobo, not big money, one kobo, and I buy 5 of you. Do you think the 6th person, let's be honest with ourselves, do you think the 6th person, if his mama or papa born and well, would ever thief? Even if he steals 1 kobo on the floor, is it not him that will pick it up? Mr. President, please, you left this money on the floor. Is it not him that will bring it and run for me? Let's be factual.
Okay.
This is what Nigeria needs. Nigeria don't need all this. Oh, I love you. You are my people. And we,
Master, while we were considering the pros of regional government, you brought us to the cons. Now, this thing you have said now, what is the disadvantage of this style of government? What's the disadvantage?
Disadvantage? You hardly see people that want to come into government. That's the only disadvantage.
Continuity.
Because in Nigeria, they will know that if they come in, they will die. Okay, let's be honest. This is the form of government they practice in China, in case you don't know.
How can you continue that?
How can I continue that?
Yes. You are not going to be president. You are not going to be head of state for forever. You are going to hand over to someone else at some point.
Autocracy.
This one,
my sister, please stop. I have meeting in 5 minutes.
See, I'm not here for 4 years. I'm here to change until Nigeria change. Don't even talk to me about handing power.
No, you don't understand what common sense asked you. I agree to an extent. In fact, even Obasanjo proposed what they call a mixture of autocracy and so compassionate autocrats, right?
You see, I'm not a compassionate autocrat.
Even democracy doesn't really provide the best, because at the end of the day, civilians and judiciary will have a way to excuse those that are corrupt. So we understand what you are saying, but at the same time, if you are so scared of regional, your own is even worse than what you are scared of. But anyway,
my own, there is no tribe. Nobody cares about tribe. Nobody cares about
that government is as good as the leader. If the leader is not for the people, Otilo, my sister talk. Please, I have meeting in 5 minutes. Let's go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I should go ahead.
Yeah, say something.
I don't have anything to say.
Oh Lord.
No. Okay. No, don't worry, just say anything. This your voice, it sounds sweet in my ear. So just talk.
Don't be my life, you're gonna do love. If you want to go
talk.
go
This your voice is sounding sweet.
If you have Tinubu's ears right away, what would you be telling him?
If we start that Nigerian matter now, we'll not see end down.
Just in case you have the president's ears, what will you be telling him?
See how they look me.
I beg, I get meeting, I want go. Thank you guys for joining my life. I
All men are
appreciate the
weak. All
brainstorming.
men are weak.
Women in politics, women in an Arsenal representative. Thank you. Bye bye.